All right. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the October 14th, 2021 meeting of the Code Enforcement Board. Meeting will now come to order. May we have a roll call, Madam Secretary?
Mr. Harrington?
Here.
Ms. Roby? Here. Ms. Himes? Here. Ms. Gundig?
Here?
Mr.
Reinhardt.
Reinhardt?
Here.
Yeah, I know, it's
And
confusing.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez, yeah, he's not here yet. So I need a motion to, I guess, excuse Mr. Gonzalez. Or we could wait till the end of the meeting. That's what I think too. Maybe we'll just wait to the end of the meeting to, will you remind me if he doesn't come that we'll do that at the end of the meeting because I think he'll be here. Okay. Has everybody had a chance to read the minutes?
Yes.
Okay. Any additions or corrections?
Was Mr. Robinson here last meeting?
Yeah.
Yes,
You've left him off the member present on the minutes.
Did I?
on the minutes, okay?
Okay. I'll fix it.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, we're going to be needing another, we can have another person on the board, so if anybody knows anybody. All right, so with that, can we have a motion to approve as amended? Motion, Ms. Himes, second.
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Anybody need to disclose any ex parte communication?
No.
Okay. Do we have any announcements, Madam Secretary?
Yes, we have on page 3, case number 2,
Okay.
CEB 0821 240 2011 South Peninsula Drive is in compliance. October 11th, 2021,
Page 3.
page 3,
Page 3, number 2.
Right,
number 2.
okay. No, page
Page
3,
three.
case 2. Up at the top. Huh, that's weird. This is case 2 on, is that page 3 you're on? That's not the one we're looking at. You're missing a page.
It's the first
Hi.
case on.
Are you using,
second-
are you using the,
first page.
yeah, hang on one second.
All right, it's Fane and Alan Rocklavelle.
Page 3, case 2, top. Mine's good.
You want a draft agenda? Yeah, here, use this one.
Mine's correct. Oh,
Okay,
yeah, mine's good.
We got it. All right, go ahead.
Gosh, you got that.
Sorry.
Page 16, case number 53.
Page, excuse me, I didn't hear you.
Page
Wow.
16, case number 53. CEB 10-21-316 for the lot Rose Avenue parcel in compliance 10/7/2021.
Okay,
Can announce the Zoom calls
okay.
starting on page 4. Case number 7, 860 Winchester, CEB 0921-289 is going to be appearing via Zoom.
Okay,
And page 13, I'll just give you all the case numbers. It's case number 41, case number 42,
wait a minute. Page 13.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
case number 41, 42, and 44
Yeah,
are all appearing via Zoom.
okay.
Their Zoom appearance.
Okay, we're going
that's
to,
it.
are these people all aware that when we get to those cases, we're going to be doing them, and if they're not here, we're going to proceed? I'm not going to spend a half hour waiting for people to get online. Okay.
Yes, they're aware that the same rules apply.
What?
Yes, they're aware that the same rules apply to
Okay,
the hearing.
Good, okay. All right, anything else?
That's it.
Okay. So would our code officers please come forward and be sworn in?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth? Yes, I do. Thank you.
Okay, everybody, here's our procedure. We'll be calling cases by number and for the most part in order as they are listed on the agenda. If there are any attorneys present that need to be in court, we'll hear those cases first. If there are any police officers that need to get back to duty, we'll also, and they're testifying, we'll hear those cases first as well. When your case is called, please come forward and state your name and address for the record and be sworn in. If you're not the owner of the property, please state your relationship to the owner of the property. Our proceedings are recorded, so please speak into the mic. Witnesses may also testify using the same procedure. Okay. If we go beyond 11 o'clock, we'll take a short break. I think we should be pretty well on our way by then. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is lien review, CEB 07-21-224. Henry and Editha Wright Trust. Respondent here? Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name for the record.
Henry Wright, property owner.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we will hear from Ms. Kirk first, and then we'll give you an opportunity.
Okay.
Well, with the lien review, we kind of asked for the respondent to.
Okay, well, all right, that's fine. So go right ahead. Tell us why this is a hardship.
Well, this is a hardship. I have 2 daughters in college, and
That's a hardship.
Yes. And the other case is that I spent quite a bit of money just trying to get it up to code, according to code. This house was actually done 3 years ago.
Okay.
And the contractor that I had that was doing the house applied for a permit, but never got the permit. And I didn't know that, so I went on and completed the job and got it done. And the other situation is the fact that I had to pay for a permit, which was $350. I had to pay a contractor $800, and then I had to pay for an engineer, which was another $400, in order to get this up to code. Unfortunately, the contractor suggested to me to go and sue the original contractor for the permit that wasn't received, but he seemed to be a family member, so I could not do that. So it was in my best interest to go ahead and take care of it the best way I could. I would have been at the previous hearing, I think, which was on the 19th.
Right.
And I did not know about it. And I kept,
Do you live there?
no.
Does
It's just
anyone
rental
live
property.
there?
It's rental property.
Right.
It's rental
Somebody
property.
does live there.
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
it looks nice.
Uh-huh. But
Right.
anyway, it was shown that the tenant had actually cut down a tree, so that was another permit that wasn't pulled. And but I did get a permit pulled for that, and then of course it was just the roof. So that's where I'm at, and I'm trying to figure out if asking for some type of leniency or.
Yeah, I saw.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Ms. Kirk.
Okay. Sarah Kirk, inspector with the city. My credentials are on file. The staff is recommending to reduce the lien to $1,000, considering that the information that was just given in regards to there was a permit applied for by a contractor that ended up being a family member, and the owner did not realize that he didn't follow through on the finaling the permit.
And if I could just point out, Madam Chair, this was something that was opened back in September of 2020.
September, it says, it was September 2020. It says 7/21, doesn't it?
No, I'm sorry, the first notified is 9/17/2020.
Okay.
And so, as I said, it was open then. So there was enough, there was staff involvement that we think was at least support a reasonable minimal fine. We think that $1,000 would be reasonable.
Okay. Any comments from the board? I think it's a minimal issue as well. I'd like to see it reduced even to 750 or 500. Anybody want to make okay.
Payable in 30 days?
Payable within 30 days. The chair will entertain a motion to reduce the amount, Ms. Himes has made a motion to reduce the amount of the lien to $500, subject to being paid within 30 days, or the fine will revert to the original amount. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Motion carries.
Is it 4 votes? Yep, okay, good.
Okay.
Thank
All
you.
right. Now, yeah, so you just, we'll get with her and,
I just
Right, yeah.
come down to your office.
I'll send you an invoice.
Okay, all right, thank you.
That's your email.
okay. Let me see. All right, now we're going to go to our continued cases. I somehow feel discombobulated today. I don't know why.
Need this back, Kim?
Huh? All right.
Need this back, all this background? Need it back? Need it back.
Case number 1, CEB 08-21-238, Lewis Mitchell Williams III. Mr. Williams here? Was here last time, not here today. Okay?
Good morning, Board. Inspector Jean-Baptiste with the city. Credentials are on file. I spoke to Mr. Lewis yesterday. There is progress, significant progress with the permit. He did obtain the permit. However, it's not finalized. He has turned in the survey that is required. So within a matter of days, the permit should be finalized. But at this time, staff is requesting to amend till next cutoff, please.
Okay? Any comments? All right, Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 11/3 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
I'll make a motion.
Mr. Reinhardt made motion, second Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Okay. Case number 2 is in compliance. Case number 3. CEB 08-21-261. Christopher Pozo. Mr. Pozo here? Okay.
All right, good morning, Board.
Good morning.
Mark Boswick, Credentials on File, Code Enforcement. All right, since the last hearing, there's been a,
Do we need to swear the witness?
We
Was someone present? I'm sorry.
No, no one's, I
okay.
asked.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Okay,
All right.
okay.
all right, since the last hearing, I've had plenty of contact with the owner. A lot of progress has been made on the house. The holdup right now was with the roofing company. They had to reschedule a couple times, and the homeowner also had to reschedule to get the FPL power to be cut off. Staff requests amend to the next cutoff.
Excuse me, is that mic on?
I believe so.
You need to maybe talk a little closer to it.
All right.
All right, so there's no roof on yet,
No,
and they're just waiting for what?
they're actually supposed to start the roof job on the 13th. They had to
The 13th.
reschedule back in September due
Right.
to the weather. And when they went out there to start the job, the power line needed to be turned off.
Oh, yeah.
And they had to contact FPL, and they couldn't turn the power off until October 6th. So the new date was the 13th to start.
Okay. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance by respondent until November 3rd to come into compliance or return to a meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, is there a second? Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed, motion carries. Okay, case number 4, CEB 09-21-270. Elaine Thomas? Sir?
Sir,
I'm the one that my daughter said wrote a note to Ms. Weezy,
Yeah?
and I can't sit long, I can't stand long. I'm Keith Thomas, I was in here last month, remember y'all,
Right, I remember you.
on 17. Yeah, that's way down the line. They hit the bottom of the man.
Okay, well, let me do this case and then we'll,
Ms. Weezy,
okay, all right, okay, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
All right, since the last hearing, no contact with the owner, no progress was made. Staff requests a fine of $100 a day, up to a max of $10,000.
Nothing going on at all, huh?
No, ma'am.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today, continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. Is there such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, is there a second?
I'll second.
Who seconded?
I'll second.
Okay, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Please make a note in the record that Mr. Gonzalez is now here. All right, so what case number are you, sir?
17, Ms. Weezy.
Huh?
17, ma'am.
17. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so.
How y'all doing, everybody?
Good. We'll do
I like this.
case 17,
Yes, ma'am.
and that's Keith Thomas.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, Ms. Gonzalez.
Case number CB 022144 at 622 Marion, and we're here for a progress report.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
This is a case that I obtained back in February of 2020 by using the Rule 6. Mr. Thomas expressed that he didn't have the funds to repair the roof, so he did get on the city's list, the housing development repair and master list and roofing list. He is confirmed on that list, so he's just kind of waiting for assistance from the city. Mr. Thomas can let you know that he has received a phone call recently from the city regarding this.
Yes, ma'am. They say the
Swear.
fund's supposed to start up in October, so I'm just waiting, ma'am.
Oh, yeah, I don't think you've been sworn in, so.
Okay,
Okay.
who gonna swear me in? Where you at? I'll come over there to you so we can, well, come on in.
Your right hand. Do you swear affirm the testimony about to provide the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Oh, Lord.
Okay, go ahead.
What you want?
Well, so they're going to start, you said,
Yes, ma'am. They called about a week or so ago and say the funds finna start up in October. And they
Okay.
said, they wanted to make sure I still need y'all help. Yes, ma'am.
okay, good.
Thank you, Miss Weegie.
Okay, what is your recommendation?
To amend to the January cutoff.
Oh, it's going to take till January, you think?
Just a reminder that we're not having a meeting in December, so.
Oh.
Yeah.
Really? Okay. All right, I didn't know that decision was made, but that's good. No meeting in December, everybody.
Who?
What's the January cutoff? What date is that?
In your book.
1/5/22.
1/5.
Yeah.
Thanh you, sir.
22, my goodness.
And check it out, Miss Weegie.
Do you have the wrong agenda?
Yes.
No, no.
October 14th. Huh. All right, so this, all right, the chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 1/5/22 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000.
Come on, Miss Weegie, don't find me, y'all.
No, but, no, it's only if it's not done.
Okay, I thought you was trying to-
got
I'm finna say I ain't got it. All right,
January.
scared me, girl.
Okay. Do I have such a motion?
Can you repeat the motion? I'm sorry.
The motion is to amend the previous order of noncompliance
Thank you.
and allow, we just have to read this into the record, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And allow respondent until January 5th, 2022 to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until compliance is achieved.
So moved.
All right, Mr. Reinhardt made the motion. Is there a second? Ms. Roby, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. There you go.
Thank you,
sir.
Miss Weegie, y'all. Y'all all right. Mr. Gonzalez, thanks for coming in, sir. We missed
No,
you.
we were on case 17.
All y'all back there.
No, no.
Thank you, Ms. Sarah.
It's okay.
Hey,
We got it.
that's where you at.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Sarah worked hard, man.
Good.
Y'all got an empty chair up there for her?
All right, let's do, okay, sir, we're moving on here. We're on case 5, CEB 07-21-204. Regina Boughton. Okay, that's in compliance on October 13. Okay. Case number 6, CEB 09-21-288. Joseph Berg and Mandy Basie. Anybody here? Good morning, Mr. Clegg.
Good morning, Officer Clegg. My credentials are on file. Since the last meeting, I had no contact with the owner, no progress. City's recommending a $100 fine capped at $15,000.
I'll make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez has made a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day effective today against the respondent and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches the maximum of $15,000. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, we have a Zoom call ready, right? Have they shown up?
They're here, they're muted and
Okay. This would be CEB 09-21-289, Wayne Wright. There you go. Hello. Think you're muted. Are you muted? Is he still muted? Okay.
Okay, can you hear me?
Okay, good morning. I see you're on the road.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good morning.
Okay. All right, we're going to hear from Mr. Clegg, and then we'll let you talk.
Got to swear him in.
Oh, you've got to be sworn in, too.
State your name for the record,
Okay.
please.
Wayne Wright?
Raise your right hand. Or do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Clegg.
Yes,
Madam
ma'am.
Chair, I would ask if he's driving that
Yeah.
we not proceed until he's able to pull over. I don't think we
Yeah.
ought to be proceeding in a hearing if he's actively driving. Is that the circumstance, sir?
I'm in a passenger seat currently.
He's in parking zone.
Great, thank you.
Okay. Okay.
You want to swear it in with no hands on the wheel. Looks like it's moving.
He said he's
All
a
right,
passenger,
we're not
didn't he?
I think we're okay.
He's sworn in and he said he's.
He's sworn in.
Right, he's sworn in, said he's parked, and that's.
No,
that's
I'm in the
good.
passenger seat
It's
currently.
okay.
He's in a passenger seat.
Oh, he's in a passenger
passenger
seat.
seat,
There you go.
Go with
Okay,
that.
we're good. Go ahead, Mr. Clegg. Again.
Yes, ma'am. Since the last meeting, I had no contact with the owner, no progress. Staff's recommending a fine of $100 a day, capped at $10,000.
So what's left to do here?
The interior hot water, I'm sorry,
Go ahead.
the hot water heater, and I need to do an inspection of the interior. As you see, he's not a state truck driver, and I can't, like I said, no contact with him to do an inspection yet.
All right, so the water heater still needs to be done,
And then the roof has to be finalized, the permit on that. too.
and do they have a?
Yes, ma'am. He's got a
So
renovation
you just
permit.
need a roof final,
Right.
okay? All right, now, Mr. Wright, tell us
Yes,
what's
ma'am.
going on.
Permit number R2012-49.
Yeah,
And if I was assuming he was water heating 3-4 months ago. All the interior work has been done and inspected. He can go in the building department or pull up the building department permit that I just gave him, and he can see where the inspection was done. And all these stuff that he said should have been addressed was addressed. We spoke last when I was supposed to do a Zoom meeting the last time, but I zoomed in. I came in person. I spoke to the gentleman there and explained to him that the same day I had the meeting, right after I left the courthouse, I came on the road. I haven't been in Florida since.
Okay.
And I explained to him that I would not be in Florida until 2 months' time. And I thought we were on the same page. Only thing that's left to do, and it's because I'm on the road and I need to raise up some more money to close out these permits, because he was telling me that if the permits are still open, he can't close his case. And I'm telling him, well, I need some more time. These permits, the roof permit and the total renovation permit, which is what I'm doing to the house, total renovation, and all of that's done, pretty much. I need a countertop with a sink to get the final on the plumbing, and I need to finish my roof.
And you
which is gonna
have
require
somebody
several thousand.
you have somebody actively working on this?
No, it's me. When I come home, I work.
Okay.
I'm the one who pulled the owner builder permits, which is 2 permits. One is for roofing and one is the total renovation. And the total renovation interior is pretty much done. Did the floor, did the walls, did the bathroom.
Okay,
Upgraded
I get
the
it. But
electrical, the plumbing,
Do you have
everything is
those
done.
permits? You've got the roof permit. Do you have the reno permit?
Yes, I just gave you the permit number, R as in Roger, 2012-490. That's the total renovation.
That's the renovation permit.
Yes,
Oh,
and the
okay.
roof permit
So-
also.
Okay, all right, I get it now. I just want to make sure we understand this.
So both permits have been issued.
Okay.
Yes, and
The
all I'm
renovation.
asking for is,
My name.
go ahead, I'm sorry.
Yeah, my name's Scott Lee. I'm the captain that oversees code enforcement. I'm trying to provide some information about the permits for you.
Okay.
So yeah, both permits have been issued. One is for a re-roof and one is for a renovation. The renovation has had a variety of inspections done that have been passed. It does look
Exactly.
that does look like that there's just one that is it's listed as partially passed, so it's very close to being
That's
completed.
the plumbing.
Okay.
I
And
didn't
then-
have a kitchen sink.
and then the re-roof is the one that's just, looks like it's still got several steps before it gets finalized.
Okay.
Yes.
That's where we're at with this
All
one.
right.
Is that the?
So when will you be back?
I'll be back the second week next month.
Okay. All right.
I think the,
My permit expires January 16th, and I'm just asking for more time, but
Okay, so
January
you expect
to
to have
complete
it
this
done
project.
by then, I hope, right?
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Is that the original first note of 8/9/21?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're sure rushing this case as
Yeah,
opposed to a lot of the
I think
others.
I mean, I would be in favor of giving him more time. He seems to be working.
no. The case,
That's
the
just-
case was opened in December of 2020. The first represented notice, the first legal notice on record is 8/9 of 2021.
Right.
That's why it's listed on the agenda that way.
Okay.
But the case has been
All
open
right.
since December 30th of last year. So that's this isn't something that just came up just recently, and it's
Okay.
just going on. So that's why it seems that way. Now, for us as a city, if we're going to give more time, we haven't yet heard from him what he thinks his established timeline is. How long does he need? He's just saying he needs more time.
Well, I thought that I mean, his permit expires in the middle of January, and he
16th.
said that he'd hoped to be finished by then. And since we're not having a meeting in December, if he had it done by, the 5th of January, which is the next cutoff date, right?
Yep.
Well, the next cutoff would be in November, but if you wanted to go to the January cutoff date, is that's what you're proposing?
Oh, yeah, that's right, it's October, I'm sorry.
Well, what is the city proposing? I'd like to know.
A fine,
Okay.
$100 a day. So what's everybody's
Go to the
opinion?
next cutoff, November.
You want to,
November next cutoff, yeah.
okay. All right.
Won't be home by then.
Can I get some more time till January, please? It's still gonna- it is
Well,
gonna
we'll
require
see.
a lot of money for the roof.
Someone's made a motion to give you until the November cutoff. That was my mistake suggesting January because I forgot what month we were in. But
I'm sorry. I'd just like to add, I feel like I've confused the situation by asking him to clarify how much time he needed. And you guys have reverted back to the November cutoff, but I believe he stated he will not be back in town until after the November cutoff. So he can't do the work until after the November cutoff. So I just want to bring that to your attention before you make your decision. That's all.
is there a motion on the floor that I?
I didn't hear no motion. I have further discussion.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, also, the last time that we were here, as was pointed out by the captain, this case has gone before. I mean, it just wasn't initiated on 8/9/21.
Right.
So I think we have to take all of it into consideration, not just the fact that he says, which he's saying the same thing he said the last time. I need more time. I'm a driver. I need 2 months, 3 months. So this is going to continue, it seems to me, because of him not being available to get the work done. And the inspector couldn't even get in. But
Yeah,
he
that's-
says that everything is finished inside, but how is he going to inspect it if he's not here?
Right. And that's the issue I've been dealing with since December of last year. I gave him some time, working with him out of state and so forth, but I have not did an interior inspection. Even though the building department said it passed, I've never been inside it in almost a year now.
I had a quick question.
Who does?
I do.
Mr. Reinhardt, go ahead.
He also stated that he spoke with you after the last meeting. I was just kind of curious, and he says that he's
Exactly. We
on a
spoke.
different.
Yeah, what I told him exactly what he's saying today is that we need to get this permit finalized. In other words, we need to find a date. He's
So it's
out
all
of
just
state.
about the finalization of the permit.
Right,
Okay.
right.
But in other words, he didn't ask for more time at that time.
Yes, that's for more.
If I may say something.
Wait a second. So we're looking for a roof final. And nobody has to get inside to do the roof final,
Right.
correct?
Correct.
So you could get that done anytime now, right? What's left to do for the roof final?
I have to put the shingles on.
The shingles aren't on yet?
Pay for the It's got peel and stick with granulate,
Yeah.
which I do. That's not a permanent.
I know what
roof.
peel and stick
It can
is,
stay
yeah.
for years, but I'm gonna do shingles on top of that, and that's what I need to purchase.
But you
And,
haven't done that yet, and you don't have the roofing material.
I don't have the roofing material paid for yet. That's why I'm saving up.
I get it.
Pay for when I
get
come
it.
home.
I move that we accept the city's recommendation.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to accept the city's recommendation, Mrs. Himes, to impose a fine of $100 per day,
Second.
capped at $10,000 until compliance is achieved. Do we have a second
Can
for
we-
that?
I second it.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
No.
No.
All right, let's have a roll call.
Isn't there anybody that?
Wait,
that's-
just wait. We're in the middle of a vote. Go ahead. I think we need a roll call.
roll.
Mr. Harrington?
No.
Ms. Roby?
No.
Ms. Himes?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes.
Mr. Reinhardt?
Yes.
Ms. Kundig says
Ms. Kundig?
yes.
Okay, adopted.
So what was the
4-2.
final vote? 4-2.
4-2.
So we have voted to fine you today, starting today.
Nobody is sympathetic to my plight in this time of.
work done and keep the document till even.
What?
Need to get the
I
work
spoke
done,
to-
document
Get,
it.
get the work done and as
I
soon,
was,
as soon as you
what-
can, get the work
I am
done.
trying my best, but the roof needs
And then
money
we
in
have
order to get it
A
done.
process called a lien review, and you can apply for a hardship at that time after your work is completed.
And we were sympathetic from the last meeting we had.
No, but
We
I
cut him
spoke to
some
the
slack.
gentleman, I spoke to the inspector, and him and I
You know,
agreed.
unfortunately,
We walked
sir, the
out.
case has been decided.
Okay.
Unless someone wants to open it back up here again, I don't know what the answer is.
Well, I think the vote was already taken,
The
and
vote
it's
was
pretty
taken.
clear.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Okay.
All right, let's move on to case number 8, CEB 08-21-244. Robert and Gloria Young. Good morning, Mr. Butler.
Good morning.
Good morning. Please be sworn in.
Gloria Long.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I affirm, yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Mr. Butler.
Once again, good morning. Roosevelt Butler Jr., credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. As it pertains to 892 Derbyshire Road, this case started back in July 29th of 2020. Since last month's court hearing, I've had several contacts with the property owner. There's been minimal progress towards the demolition of the pool. Staff requests $100 a day to the maximum of $10,000.
Okay, what have you done
Well, we,
I got new pictures of it.
since?
that, yes.
Oh.
And
it
we
should be finished tomorrow, by Friday
cleaning it.
sometime.
As far as cleaning it out, we have got one person that's supposed to start coming, dump the dirt. He had promised us that he was going to be there. He never showed up. So we have gotten someone else to come and start to see if we can get somebody to do it.
Go ahead, sir, you wanted to say something?
No, I just got new pictures of it, broke down a little bit more than that, all around the edges.
And that was last Thursday.
Yeah, that was last Thursday, this right here.
We've been
is
working
this
on
morning.
it.
So you haven't worked?
Yes,
on it?
sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am, we have.
And it should be finished, I say, at least by next week.
The cleaning out, we're just waiting for somebody to start dumping.
Okay. Isn't that the picture that's up there? Is that the same picture
Yeah,
that's there?
same
Oh,
picture.
okay, that's
And
the
it did.
same one that's up there.
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll improve.
Mhm.
Any discussion from the board?
Basically, I don't see anything that's been done.
Right. The picture's just a
That-
closer up, which cuts off the other part, but it seems like it's still.
It's just that,
Nah, all that grass right there is all gone. All
Oh,
that
that's
stuff
gone. It's
I don't
gone.
know how y'all talking.
yeah, it's gone.
What y'all gonna say?
Go ahead. That grass there is gone. It's small amount. It's gone. And then start chipping around the edges and things.
Who's doing the chipping?
I'm doing the chip.
He
Okay.
is.
So this case started a year ago,
A
basically.
year ago, we wasn't here.
I wasn't
You
here.
just came back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
came here, this is our third time coming back, so.
Yeah, okay.
let's get this over.
What's
I
the
was gone
board
for
say?
5 years, and it just fell into my lap. Like I said, I was gone for 5 years.
Okay.
And I just got into it last year. So, like I say, I'm the only one that has an income, so it's, it's kind of hard when, you ask them people to help, and they promise to help, and then they don't show up and stuff like that, so.
Comments from the board?
I think whoever's doing the chipping could have bagged that cement up and put it out at the same time, which would make it look cleaner.
You don't put it out.
Excuse
put
me,
it
let me
down in the
finish.
pool,
May I
it's all
finish,
finished.
please? May I finish?
Yeah,
So, it's been going, as he said, this is their third time here. So, this goes back a year. So, how much, I just don't see
We can get it
why it's
done
not
now.
getting done.
It goes back a year, but we just came back 2019.
I got that.
Yeah, I just came back in
So, boom.
2020.
Right.
That's fine.
I wasn't here.
But I think when the
Would he-
citations are given by the inspectors or they inform you,
Okay,
the time starts
okay.
there when you
nobody
first,
around.
when you first
Well, nobody
notify.
living in the house, that's what I'm
Nobody
saying.
just started coming.
That's
for
what I'm saying is that the fence and stuff was down when he came the first time. And he told us to get the fence up. Okay, that took some, so I did that. And so then he said, okay, we're gonna work on the pool, and we started to try to get, we was looking to see what was the cost of it to get the pool done. And we found out that it was so expensive to get it done, and it still is, but we're finding people trying to get to come and help us. And the ones that said they was gonna come and do this, they never show up. So we just have to take it in our own hands, do what we can do.
I have a question in reference to Mr. Gonzalez. He said that even the chip should have been bagged up.
Okay,
which
oh,
would
I
be
understand what you're saying, instead of
Well,
just laying there.
Said you're to put it in.
Inside the pool with the dirt,
To have,
to gravel it out. It automatically goes inside.
Yeah, I mean, we're not looking, I mean, we are looking.
yes, I
to
understand.
have it made
Yes,
better,
I
but it all
understand.
needs to
Yes.
be made better.
I understand what you're saying.
So whether in the pool or outside of the pool in the bag, as you're doing the work, because I've done labor work before, you throw, if it's in the pool,
Yes.
throw it in the
Okay,
pool.
so let somebody make a motion. Somebody like to make a motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we amend to the next cutoff.
All right, Ms. Roby has made a motion to amend to the next cutoff. Is there a second to that?
Second.
Second, Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
Opposed.
No,
Roll call, please.
Mr. Harrington?
no,
Ms. Roby?
Yes.
Ms. Himes?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
No.
Mr. Reinhardt?
No.
Ms. Gundig?
Yes,
Fails. Motion fails.
motion fails. All right, we need another motion, and the motion is, the chair will accept a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day.
I'm sorry. May I ask a question?
Yes.
Have you had a conversation with permits and licensing and sought the appropriate demolition permit for this pool?
No, sir.
Yeah, I don't see a demolition permit for the pool on file. So you're demolishing a pool without even the proper permit. And the reason why I went to look for that is
Oh,
because
okay.
typically you wouldn't be able to put the concrete back into the ground.
That's what I was
Oh,
wondering.
okay.
Right, so
Okay.
there would be things that you would need to comply with through that permitting process, which is why
Okay.
you would need to seek it first.
Okay,
And that's not being done here.
okay,
So that's another just concern.
okay.
I would like to offer an alternative motion, trying to meet midway here. $50 a day, fine to start today. And then we'll hear the case again.
Okay.
second.
No, you can't hear the case again if you impose a fine. We're done with it.
Well, I mean, if we get to a lien situation, we're
Well,
going to
if
hear
we
the
get
case,
to a lien
right?
situation,
Okay.
Yeah.
we can.
Yeah.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Gonzalez and a second from Mr. Harrington to impose a fine of $50 per day and allow respondent, effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. All in favor say aye.
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 Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
I do a no, though.
Okay. Motion carries.
Carries 5-1.
5-1.
Needs to let them know they need to go get.
Well, you need to go get that permit as soon as possible.
Okay,
And get the work done as soon as possible.
okay, okay,
And then there are such things as lien reviews if this, but you have to be in compliance. You can't ask for a lien review. You have to have
Okay.
if you're not totally in compliance.
okay.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, we'll go get that now.
Okay, case
Okay,
number
thank
9,
you.
CEB 02-21-15, LaVersha Anthony. Okay, good morning, sir.
Hello. I'm her son-in-law,
Son-in-law. What's your name?
Ernest Price.
Ernest?
Yes.
Okay, be sworn in, please, sir.
Kimberly Anthony, the daughter.
She not feeling well.
Speak into the mic. I can't hear you.
Kimberly Anthony, the daughter.
Kimberly
Kimberly
Anthony's daughter.
daughter.
Raise your right hand.
I'm sorry, did she say her name?
Kimberly Anthony. She's the
Kimberly Anthony.
She's the daughter. Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay. We'll hear from Mr. Butler. I know this was a probate issue. Did you get an attorney yet?
No.
Still waiting. I talked to somebody about 3 weeks ago, and it was like they're still trying to find someone. It's like ongoing. Just I know y'all tired of hearing it because we tired of saying it, but
We can't hear you through those masks.
Well, I'm not sure that I think they're trying to be careful, so.
Well, that's fine.
Yeah,
Can't
well,
hear.
there may be a reason they're trying to be careful.
she's COVID and stuff.
Yeah, I know.
So I can take mine off though.
Okay.
Okay, so.
All right, go ahead, Mr. Butler.
Okay, once again, good morning. As it pertains to 1649 Cedar Highland Boulevard, as you know, this is a probate case, started back in April 21, April 21st, 2020. Since July court hearing, I've had several contacts with the property owner. As of this date, the property owner hasn't received any assistance. There hasn't been no change in the current status unless she has more information to provide this morning.
I've been waiting. They told me that I would be.
Excuse me, you know what? I really am very uncomfortable at this point. I know that you're sick. And I'm very uncomfortable hearing this case right now and having this person here.
You can step out.
So if we could do
Okay.
something to.
She can step
alleviate
out.
it, I feel a
Can
whole
she,
lot
can
better.
he speak on your behalf, ma'am?
Okay, you go,
Okay.
yeah.
Is that okay? You can step out? Is that okay with you? Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
She has COVID. I was in the last meeting, and she's really sick. Okay. All right, so tell us what's going on.
Well, it's just ongoing. We've been trying to get into legal aid. Like the house is in her mom's name. Our mom is deceased.
Yeah.
So I tried, between Lacuna Puzzle, Mr. Sykes, I think I talked to a captain. And we haven't just been sent out, we've been trying, we call legal aid. They still saying that they trying to find someone, and that's all we get.
This has been going on for well over a year.
Yes, well, when it first started in 2019, when the COVID started, it was backed up. We couldn't get a case.
Okay.
So-
Mr. Butler, what's your recommendation?
Staff recommendation of $100 a day to the maximum $10,000.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
Have you been to the court, to the probate in the court, and asked them to appoint an administrator? Out of your group, your family, the court can appoint an administrator, and then you don't have to bother with a lawyer necessarily.
I don't know that we should be giving advice.
Well, I'm just asking a question.
Okay.
I'm not advising them. I'm asking a question.
It would be the initiation of a probate, and they've indicated they have not done that.
Oh, okay.
I guess the real question is, I don't know if they are trying to pull a permit as a owner, pulled permit, because if they were pulling it with a contractor, I think the contractor could probably pull that permit. I don't think they've sought to hire a contractor. I don't know that answer for certain, but I don't know if they've been told otherwise.
Yeah.
Well, we was told we couldn't do nothing without, unless we went through the probate.
Who told you that?
Yeah, so.
That's what everybody was saying.
Well, everybody, did the permit department tell you
The house
that?
is still in her name, though. I'm saying, it's not in our name. It's in the
Mr.
deceased-
Butler?
At this point in time, what they should do is go downstairs to permits and licensing. They need to have that conversation as it pertains to the permit. And that's where they can get the information that they need.
We went downstairs way back, and that's when
Yeah.
they told us that we had to go to probate court. They couldn't do nothing.
Okay, so I think that if I recall, because we've tried our best to help in this case.
I agree.
So what I recall best here is that the issue here is they can't pull an owner-occupied permit because it's not in one of their names because they haven't gone through probate. And the contractor cannot pull a permit because they don't have an authorization letter from the owner of the property because the owner is deceased. So that's the issue here. In both of those scenarios, probate is what is holding up the issue. So they would need to initiate probate. In this case, they didn't have the funds to hire a lawyer in order to initiate probate. So we had taken an extra step. Inspector Butler took it upon himself to initiate a letter to the Bar Association locally to try to see if anybody would take it pro bono. That just really, we let that circulate for about 2 months and nobody, it never built any traction. We couldn't find any help for them. We're just at a point where we have to take some kind of action, but we are at a loss for any other assistance for them at this time for this particular type of issue.
So the court doesn't appoint someone to, I'm just asking.
The question that Mr. Gonzalez asked or
not
brought up,
pertinent,
that is something that would happen or could happen during the probate process, and I think Mr. Jackson could probably speak to it better than I could, but that's something that would happen after you initiate the probate process.
And you have to have an attorney to initiate the probate
What?
process.
Does it always have to be?
No, I don't, I've done 2 of them.
Okay.
And the process is, they would have to pay the court fee of $500.
Yeah.
And then, they will have to have an agreement as to who they choose to be the administrator. Then the administrator can move forward to do the same thing that the lawyer would do.
Well, that's not my area of law, but if Mr. Gonzalez has done it before, then I think maybe the question would probably be, for their sake, would be going to the clerk of court and just asking the clerk of court for instruction. Correct. And give them, they'd be happy to
I think
guide them.
we're getting way out of.
We are. Go ahead, make a
range
motion,
here.
Mr. Harrington.
We're not, none
Well,
of us.
make a motion.
Yeah, let's.
I make a motion to accept the city's
Okay,
recommendation.
Mr. Harrington has made a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continuing until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. Is there a second?
I would like to make a friendly amendment.
Well, let's see.
Second first.
Well, let's do the first. Do we have a second? All right, Mr. Gonzalez, motion fails for lack of second. Mr. Gonzalez.
Okay, I would offer that we fine $50 a day instead of $100 a day till they come into compliance.
Okay.
Well, what kind of cap?
Up to 10,000. That's
Up to
what the cap
10,000,
is.
yeah.
All right. We have another motion to impose, from Mr. Gonzalez, to impose a fine of $50 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000.
I'll
There a
second.
second?
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. So get to the courthouse as soon as you can, is what I
say the
think
clerk
I'm
of the
hearing.
court, you say?
You talk to Mr. Butler and he can tell you. Okay. All right, case number 10. CEB 09-21-280, Elmer and Sarah Flannery. We need to get moving.
State your name. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, we're going to hear from Mr. Butler first, okay? Go ahead.
Okay. As it pertains to 1356 Continental Drive, since last month, court hearing, I've had contact with the property owner. There has been minimum progress towards the violations. However, lots of junk remains at the property. We've received numerous complaints coming into our office pertaining to this property. the amount of trash and debris that remains. That was last Thursday at the property. Staff requests $200 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
What say you, Mr. Flannery?
What I say is, I'm working on it. If you can look at the pictures from the last time I was here, we've trimmed all the bushes back. We've called to get the bushes that we trimmed up. We've called to have that removed. I called him on the 6th twice I can show you on my phone where I called him to get in touch with him twice, and I had never heard nothing back from him on the 6th.
What's left to do, Mr.?
I have probably another 2 loads of stuff to get out of there. And when they came on Wednesday, the 6th was a Wednesday, and they did not take that file. I called them then, and they said I'll have somebody come out and pick it up. They never picked it up.
They have not picked, who did you call?
Waste Management.
Okay. But what else is left to be done, Mr. Butler?
The outside storage that you see, that's continuously. That
All of that is still there that's like on the trailer?
that was Thursday.
That's what I'm hauling to the dump.
And I want to share with you and share with the court. Yeah, that looks good, but you can go today, any other day, and find tons of stuff out there. They scrap. And we continuously receive complaints about this property. ESC called last Wednesday. I went out and did a reinspection, and that is the result of my reinspection.
Okay, thank you.
And as per him saying that we scrap, we do not scrap.
Whatever. Okay, that's fine. All right, the chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $200 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. Is such a motion?
I'll make a motion.
That's Mr. Reinhardt. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Himes. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. We've made a decision. Okay, case number 11, CEB 09-21-283. Jack Jarvis. Case 11.
State your name.
Jack Jarvis.
Do you
Jack
swear or
Jarvis.
affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Butler.
Yes, ma'am. As it pertains to 108 Hibiscus Drive, since the last court hearing, I've had contact with the property owner, and what remains is a damaged carport. Staff requests $100 a day to a maximum of $10,000.
That's all that was left the last time, right?
Yes.
And was it determined that he needs a permit or no permit?
Survey and a permit. Yes, ma'am.
So he needs a survey and a permit.
Yes.
Okay, do you have those, sir?
I went down after the last meeting.
Yes.
He's got it on his file.
Okay,
I thought they gave you the permit there. I've never done this.
okay.
So I was talking to this lady while I thought she was getting my permit. It's like, okay, y'all are taking too long. No, you have to wait for a permit. 7 to 10 business days. Okay, 11 days later, I get a letter. I need a survey because they think my carport sticks out too far. It's like it's been like this for 22 years. I don't understand. Apparently, their records only go back to 1998. Okay, here's a list, front and back of surveyors.
The list, what is that, sir?
These are for surveyors that I've been contacting
Okay,
to get a surveyor.
okay.
They are 3 to 4 months out.
Yes, yeah. Okay.
3 different contractors said the city of Daytona knows that, so why would they try to make you do something in 30 days when they know everybody's backed up because of the pandemic?
I hear what you're saying. We're aware of those situations. And
If
you
I can-
did make the effort to,
Just to let you know, I do have one, it's right here. They're 14 weeks out. I'm already on their schedule. It's costing me $800, but I gotta wait for the 14 weeks. And I even asked him, I said, can someone from that office call you to confirm? Yeah, if they want to call me, you're on the list. It's right here.
Okay.
And I done that the day I left here from the
All
last
right,
one.
Mr. Butler?
Supposedly, they have a permit, they won't grant a permit until they get a survey.
The permit was applied for on the 27th of September. There was corrections that were needed, that were sent back on the 30th of September, which appear to be related to what he just told you about, which is the need for a survey and related to the fact that the carport has been extended into it encroaches in the city area or city right of way since probably prior to 1998.
Right.
So, yes.
Okay. Any comments from the board? My opinion is that we need to give him some more time to get the survey done.
Yeah, question. How long did you say the carport was like that?
1998.
No, that's how far the survey goes back, is 1998.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the carport.
That's what I
was
thought
in there.
too,
It was
yeah.
He
1998.
said 22 years on the carport.
22
The
years.
carport's been standing there for 22, when I bought the house.
So he inherited the problem. I guess.
Is he
No.
saying that?
Then my next question was, see how far it sticks out? Someone finally told me how far, actually it was the building permit people. How far does this stick out from that first joint? I said, I don't know, 4 foot. He goes, that's why it's tearing off. It's out too far without support. I don't know. So I was gonna go down there today and ask him if I cut it back where it's not so long so it doesn't happen again. But will I still need a surveyor?
I think that
I don't know.
I want to ask one.
Wait a minute.
Confusing.
It's not,
I need to clear.
okay, go ahead.
Did he say this carport has been there for 22 years?
Yes, ma'am. It was there when I moved in, when I bought the house. Yes, ma'am.
You inherited the problem.
Yeah.
You inherited the problem is what Mr. Gonzalez
Without
is
knowing
saying.
it was a problem.
No, I bought the house.
Say,
Right.
that's the same.
Oh,
thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
The
sorry.
problem came with the house.
Yeah.
The problem came with the house.
Yeah.
Captain Lee?
I think, if I can just ask the inspector one thing, I think I know what our city's position is and our problem with this case is that this case was last in front of them in August, is that correct? And we gave until this hearing? Okay, so for us, the issue is that this was before you on, it looks like the 17th of last month, and no action was taken by him until the 27th of September. So there was no application made for the permit until the 27th of September. So there's this long delay of action, and it's just continued dragging on of this case. This case is, for us, has been open since early March, and we need to see expeditious action here. And that's why we know there are delays in the system. We know that surveys take 14 weeks, and that's why we are trying to get people to move on taking the action that they need to take. So when we're sending notices and people aren't taking the action that they need to take, that's creating even further delay in the system and getting things done and improved in the city. So that's why we're trying to move these things along. So in this case, we really need to see that this moves along in an expeditious manner and continues to move in an expeditious manner. So if you're going to give additional time, I would encourage you to not give much.
14 weeks. There's nothing I can do, sir.
Now,
Unless
you
know
have
something.
other things that evidently you need to do, right?
No,
Or-
everything else is
That's
done.
it? All right. Anyone else have a comment? Mr. Butler, sorry.
Yes, I have to piggyback off what Captain Lee has stated to the courts. When I go out to visit these properties, I try to educate. I educated this gentleman on the permit 5 months ago about the permit. The story that I was told was about his income tax check that he had not received in 2 years. So he did not have the money. The money aspect, to go down to permits and license didn't take much to do that, to start the process then. He came in the office on last Thursday. I think that was the 4th or the 5th. He was supposed to be in compliance on the 6th. Now you come and you want to speak of that, but 4 or 5 months has yet passed. This action should have been taking place at that time when he was educated. That's where I am with it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
And I'll second.
All right, we have a motion from Mr. Gonzalez and a second from Mr. Reinhardt to impose a fine against the respondent of $100 per day starting today until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. All in favor say aye.
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 Like sign opposed, motion carries.
I just have a question.
No, no more questions. We're finished with the case. Now just, it is what it is. Case number
So you
12,
can take people's
CEB
money and give them
06-21-180, Gwendolyn and Reginald Moore. Mr. Fitzgerald.
Good morning, Michael Fitzgerald, City of Daytona Beach Code Enforcement. My credentials are on file with the city. Okay, yes, good morning.
Please state your name and address for the record and be
Yes,
sworn in.
my name's Abdul Mill, 439 Caroline Street.
Can you say
It's
your
my
name?
uncle.
Can you say your name
My
again?
name Abda, A-B-D-A.
Abda.
Last name Emil, A-M-M-I-E-L.
Raise your right hand. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
So you live at this residence?
No, we just trying to fix it up. No one's living
So
there.
what is your relationship to
That's-
Reginald and
That's
Wendy?
my uncle.
Oh, uncle. Okay, so you're nephew. Okay. All right, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Mike Fitzgerald, City of Daytona Beach Code Enforcement. My credentials are on file with the city. Since last month's hearing, I've had contact with the owner. They're working on the building, but it's still not complete. It's taking a long time, and I'm asking for a fine of $100 a day to a maximum of $15,000.
No, well, he don't have, the house has been painted. That's old pictures. The house been painted now a month. That's
see
new
it.
pictures. And yesterday I spent like $1,000 and I got pictures. I sent him emails.
Yes.
I replaced all the fascia boards, all the way around the whole house. I got the screen man putting on screens today, right now. I sent him pictures to the guy working on it. So I've been working on it. I got a yard man on a weekly basis, clean up yard. He moved the boards in the bag. It's no car spot. There's nothing in the yard.
How
right
long
now.
do you think it'll take you to finish up?
I'll say by January.
Okay.
Because the facial board, just because I want to redo the windows. We've got to pull a permit. We want to put all the
Have you
windows.
pulled the permit yet?
No, we
Okay.
going to do that this week here. But right now, I got a guy there. He building screens as I right now today. He's doing now. I showed him pictures, and if you can see his email. And like I said, I spent $1,000. All the rotten wood is off. New facial boards all the way around. There's no junk in the yard. All that's been removed. See, all that's old. There's no junk in the yard right now.
No, I see that. Comments from the board?
Okay, so the original violations, the outside storage you're saying is gone, the damaged windows and screens you're saying is being fixed today, the damaged fascia board and paint you're saying has addressed,
Yes, it's been addressed, right.
just for clarification. I was
Right, thank you.
And I got new lights to go on the outside, gonna be put up, the exterior lights. I already got all of them. And, I could put those on today, but
Go ahead.
I've been doing my best, you know.
I see.
All right.
There's been progress. Go ahead, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Mr. Inspector,
Okay.
I'm sorry, I guess you can't see the date on your photo right there. What's it?
10-7.
Yeah, okay. It's way up top, yeah. There you
Okay,
go.
so the
Okay.
fascia boards are.
Yep, all that's been replaced. I got pictures, I got.
Okay,
Right now, it's brand new. I got all the pictures right here.
okay.
Yeah, he sent me the fascia board pictures this morning. Fascia board was repaired but not painted. Windows are not repaired. They'll be repaired when he pulls a permit and gets I guess the screens are being put in right now.
Yeah, they're doing it right today. I told him pictures. That's what he's doing
I
right
have a
now.
question. So since it says broken, damaged windows, but it doesn't, we haven't had a permit issued there yet.
No, ma'am.
If he's got all this done and you go out there in the next couple of days and see that the fascia's painted and everything else, he can close this case and you can wait for the permit on the windows, correct?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
No, that was so.
No.
Have you ordered the windows?
Not all the windows need to be replaced, just the two ones on front. The other one is glass in them and all. So it's only like one or two windows that needs to be replaced, and that's the two front windows on the porch.
And they haven't been ordered?
Right, I can order them today. I mean, I will order them today. I mean, I've been doing this I've been having family issues and stuff like that, financial problems, but I took, every time I get a little extra money, I put it in this house. That's my top priority. So it's not like I'm ignoring it or anything like that. I've been up on it, the guy doing the screens right now.
Well, according to Mr. Fitzgerald, you're gonna need to get a permit.
I thought.
For the windows.
Right.
Evidently.
I
So
was told you had to if you replace all the windows, you had to get a permit, which is
No,
like two
any
windows.
window.
No, each individual window
My
would be
understanding
part
is,
of a permit.
my understanding is the only time on windows, and correct me if I'm wrong, Captain Lee, that you don't need a permit is just if you're replacing the pane or the glass.
Right.
If you're changing the actual structured window,
You need a
any
permit.
one window, you have to have a
I
permit.
could do the pane, I thought it was, because that's the only thing that's broken, I could just do the
Well,
pane.
not knowing, I mean, it may be
But-
more, it may be the structured
But I was just
window
thinking this
itself.
window's so old, just probably be better just to upgrade, just get a new window. But the permit, now that I'm learning that today that you need a permit, then I get a permit.
That's why your code enforcement officer tells you or suggests to you that you go down to the permit department so you can find out these things.
Well, I go right now while I'm here, and I get a permit to change two
All right,
front
okay,
windows.
that's, I think,
I'd like to
I'd
make
like
a
to
motion.
call, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we amend to the next meeting to let Mr. Fitzgerald go out and see that the fascia board's been, well, you got a picture, but
Yeah.
he can come out and inspect it, and then he
Okay.
can maybe fix the windows, close the case, and then order the windows and get a permit.
Okay.
Or permit and order the windows.
And I'll go down there and inquire about the permit, what it's gonna take.
Now, all right,
Yes.
the motion is to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow the respondent until November 3rd to come into compliance and be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Harrington. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed? Motion carries. I just didn't hear a lot of voting.
Well, those are the no's.
Yeah.
Okay, but we didn't hear any no's either. so-
Let's do it again, for the record.
Yeah, let's do it for the record. All right. Let's see, motion, for the motion.
Yes.
Yeah, aye.
Aye?
No.
No,
Okay, against the motion.
about,
That's two. All right, can we have a roll call, please?
Sorry.
Mr. Harrington?
Yes.
Ms. Roby?
Yes.
Ms. Himes?
Yes.
Mr. Gonzalez?
no.
Mr. Reinhardt?
No.
Ms. Kundig?
Yes,
Yes, what it
okay, passes. Okay, you have till next month.
Okay.
Okay.
So next month, I just get,
Well, you go right downstairs and look at that permit,
okay,
get that permit issued straightened out, okay?
okay. Thank you so much.
And talk to Mr. Fitzgerald. Keep in
Okay.
touch with him,
You have my number.
because we're
Yeah, I got
giving you
it.
an extra month. All right.
Yeah, that most requires you to be finished by the
Right.
second. So you need to do everything you can to be there.
Okay.
All right, case number 13, CEB 0621185, Jacqueline Jackson. All right, respondent not here. Go ahead, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Since last month's hearing, I've had contact with the owner and her representatives. They have a roof permit that was issued on 9/8/20. And they still need to do the roof. Most of the other stuff is done, except for there's still a lot of outside storage. You'll see the photographs. And of course, the roof on the front where the grass is growing out.
Okay, what's your recommendation?
I'm recommending $100 a day fine to a maximum of $10,000.
Any discussion from the board?
Numbers on there, Mr. Fitzgerald?
Sir,
Did you put the numbers on there?
the numbers?
On the building.
Yes, the address numbers are on there.
I move that we accept the city's
All
recommendation.
right, Mr. Gonzalez has made a motion, Ms. Himes has made a second to impose a fine of $100 per day up to $10,000 against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 14, CEB 08-21-239, Carlos Rodriguez. Mr. Rodriguez here?
That one's in compliance.
What?
That one's in compliance.
Case number 14 is in compliance?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
As of when?
10/6 of 21.
Okay. Case number 15, CEB 09-21-284, Brandon Beck. Mr. Beck here? Okay, Mr. Fitzgerald?
Since last month's hearing, I've had no contact, and the progress he was making stopped.
Okay.
At this time, I'm asking for a $150 a day fine to a maximum of $10,000.
Okay.
I make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
All right, we have a motion for Mr. Gonzalez, second for Mrs. Heim to impose a fine of $150 per day against the respondent effective today and continue to compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case 16, CEB 07-21223, Tracy Smith. And this would be Ms. Kirk.
Okay.
Good morning.
Good morning. Hello.
Go ahead.
Ms. Smith was not able to attend. She had to work. She's been on the city's assistance program since June of 2019. Right now, I've verified she's on the master list. So staff is requesting to amend to the January cutoff.
Okay. All right.
Good thing they don't have termite damage, or the whole building would fall down before they ever get.
Maybe. Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until January 5th, 2022 to come into compliance, be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day until.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez.
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. We did case number 17.
I have a question
Okay?
about the city program.
Yeah.
It's my understanding, I could have the wrong information, that that's backed up for 2 years. People getting assistance.
It was due to the COVID, it was backed up, but with the new fiscal year, I believe they are making progress. They're going to be starting work shortly. That's what I've heard. And I know, as Mr. Thomas stated, that he did get a phone call stating that as well.
When you say COVID, you mean they can't get contractors? That's not an effect by money is not.
Well, the program was on pause during the pandemic, so that pause has been lifted, to my
The pause
understanding.
was caused by a lack of contractors?
All I know is it was paused by the
Because
COVID-19.
we're talking about money here, and that has nothing to do with
Well,
COVID.
I
The
know,
tax-
we don't need to, we're going to move on with this case.
All right.
Case number 18, CEB 04-
I think
I know what
there's
you're
two of
gonna
us that would like to discuss
Enough,
this.
we need to move, we don't need to discuss COVID.
I don't want to discuss COVID. I want to discuss when we are going to actually see some action on these programs.
Can I-
Just because it's the city doesn't mean it goes on forever and we don't ever take action on this
Okay,
board.
that's,
Well, I agree with you.
okay, I understand what you're saying, I see what you're saying. I think that this is a case for the commission and not for our board, if they,
And if you want to have a conversation about it, it might be better for miscellaneous business at the end.
yeah, I think so
Okay.
too. I don't.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, we can do that if you want to.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to case number 18, CB 0424-84, Larry Sanders. Mr. Sanders?
17 was
Mr. Sanders here?
compliance for 17.
No, we heard the case. No, that was Mr. Thomas, the guy in the wheelchair.
State your name for the record.
Larry Sanders.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
What is your name, sir?
Larry Sanders, ma'am.
You're Larry Sanders?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, Mr.
Ms. Kirk.
Thank you. Mr. Sanders, he is also on the city's waiting list, his housing assistance program. I've confirmed that he is on the master waiting list. The city is recommending to amend to the January cutoff.
Okay, it looks like the same. Do you have anything to say? Is there any?
No, ma'am. I just wanted to thank you, Mr. Kirk. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow the respondent until 1/5/22 to come into compliance or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt, motion made by Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 19, CB 08-21-265. Mr. Robinson. Is Mr. Robinson here? Okay, let the record reflect that Mr. Gonzalez has left the room for a minute. Okay, Ms. Kirk, what can you tell us?
Since the last hearing, there has been no progress. The permit, after the fact, permit is still on hold. The information that was required has still not been submitted. So staff is requesting a $200 a day fine to a max of $10,000.
Yeah, I think we were pretty firm on our discussion of this last month.
We were.
You know, as I recall, so, okay. Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $200 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. Such a motion? Motion, Mr. Harrington, is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number 20, CB 09-21-268, Ernestine Johnson.
Yes,
Okay.
here.
I can't really see you, but I know you're over there. So you can get, will you swear her in? You don't have to move, as long as we can hear you.
Yes.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about
Yes,
to provide
thank
is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Can you state your name for the record?
Ernestine Johnson.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Since the last hearing, I was in contact with Ms. Johnson's social worker, and she asked if there was a program that the city could assist her with due to lack of funds and being disabled. So I referred her to the city's housing assistance program. So now she is currently on that waiting list. She has been maintaining the yard, the other things that can be maintained, such as the yard and the trash and debris. So we would like to amend to the January cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to amend to the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 1/5/22 to come into compliance to be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Himes. Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay. You don't, we're giving you till January to get all this work settled, okay, Ms. Johnson? Okay. Thank you. Thanks for coming. Case number 21, CEB 09-21-269. Samantha Smoke. Okay. Ms. Kirk?
Okay. Since the last hearing, there has been no progress. I've had no contact. Staff is requesting a $200 a day fine to a max of $15,000.
You said no progress, Sarah?
Right, no progress, no contact.
Now, is this property, not that it matters, but is this property condemned?
Yes, it was condemned for no utilities.
Right, okay. All
Mrs.
right.
Smoke doesn't have any smoke detectors.
And no smoke detectors either.
Okay, Chair will entertain a motion to impose a fine of $200 per day against the respondent effective today and continues until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $15,000.
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, second. Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. All right, let's see, we have case number 22 CB09-21-286. Alice Thomas. Good morning. State your name and address to the record.
My name is Travis Thomas. My address is 219 North Adams Street.
And what's your relationship to Alice?
I'm an heir of, that's my grandmother. I'm an heir of the
You're an
property.
heir?
Yes.
Okay.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, Ms. Kirk, what can you tell us? And then we'll give you a chance to talk.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, since the last hearing, I have had contact with Mr. Thomas. He has started work. I believe there was an issue getting with the probate with this, but now he's able to work on the property, and he has started work. So with that being said, I would like to go ahead and ask to amend to the next cutoff for compliance.
Okay, Mr. Thomas, there's an awful lot of work to be done, it looks like to me, especially if, why was the property condemned?
Because there was no lights and water at the property. I have lights and water there now. It was currently going, it was going through a probate issue for almost like 2 years, and I just recently came into came to ownership of the deed now, so I'm trying to get in the process and start working on everything and getting everything knocked down in the timely process.
How long do you think it will take you to do all that?
We talked about January, so hopefully I can get it done before then, but this is an everyday thing. I go over here every day, and I make effort to...
Are you going to need permits?
I need to start doing permits. See, this is my first time even working with the property, so this is a learning process for me. So she was telling me last night that I need to start getting permits to start working on stuff. So that's what, after this meeting, I'm planning to go downstairs. And I've been asking around back here, like, what's permits, what's this, what's that.
Downstairs. You listen to
downstairs.
you listen to people downstairs and to Ms. Kirk, and they'll give you the real, what you really need to do, not, not just talking to people that think they know.
Yes, ma'am. And I'm glad that I'm here now, because I was just going to start just putting stuff.
Yeah.
Because I know the house needs it, and I don't want to see it go without. But it's a proper way you go about doing these things. And see, I'm just getting informed on that.
Okay, so what Ms. Kirk has suggested is that we amend till the next cutoff for you to come into compliance, and if we see a lot of progress, then you're,
Most definitely. Yes, ma'am.
you're likely to get more time.
Most definitely.
But Chair, we'll see what the board wants to do. Any questions from the board?
I don't see a problem with amending it to January.
Okay. Anybody else?
I have no issue with that either.
Okay. Well, here's what we're going to do then. Is that a motion, Mr. Harrington?
Yes, it is.
And a second, Mr. Reinhardt?
Thank you.
To amend till the January cutoff? All right. Chair will entertain a motion to amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 1/5/22 to come into compliance and be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, we've given you till
January 5th.
January to get this work done.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
All
so
right.
you won't have to come back here, but hopefully it'll be done by
Yes,
then.
yes, most definitely. Most definitely. A lot of work's going
But
to be
make
done.
sure you go downstairs and see what you need for permits and all that stuff.
All right. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, now, case number 23, CB0721-221, Lavander Miley. And this is Mr. Stenson. Good morning, Mr. Stenson.
Good morning. John Stinson, Code Inspector with the city. My qualifications are on file.
And the person, Mr. Miley, isn't here. Okay, go ahead.
Since the last hearing, I've had no contact with this property owner. There's been no change. This property is enrolled in the city program. It has been for quite some time. The city is asking for $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
Okay, obviously, we need to have this discussion about these city programs because your point is always consistency. So if we do something for one person that's stuck in the netherland of these city permits.
But I also think that we have to take into consideration, for example, if somebody shows up and is present and standing
Well,
for their
that's why
issue,
every case is
or if they
different.
just don't bother to
Right.
contact the inspector,
That's right.
or then we could have a different
Absolutely right.
train of thought.
That's why every case
agree.
is different, needs to be.
I do too. I mean, they should at least make the effort to get in contact with
To get in
John or
contact, even
or
if they couldn't
company.
be here.
Right.
Right.
But Mr. Stinson had pointed out there's been no contact.
Program or
Correct.
not, right?
Program or not.
So I would motion that we accept the city's recommendation based on those things.
I'd second that.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez has made a motion, Mr. Reinhardt seconds to impose a fine of $100 per day against the respondent effective today and continue until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000. All in
Aye.
favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Okay. Case number 24, CEV 09-21-273, Linda Green. Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name.
Linda Green.
Destiny Green. Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, did the young lady say her name? I missed it.
Yes,
Destiny.
Stephanie Green.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Sensen.
Good morning. Since the last hearing, I have been in contact with this property owner. They have been working on the property. The landscaping is being maintained. They have removed the boards from the windows. However, there is still the peeling paint, the exterior surfaces, and the broken windows. So the city is recommending a $100 per day fine to be capped at $10,000.
Okay, Ms. Green, what would you like to tell us?
We got the contract that won't start until November with the maintenance guy that's going to come out and do the work. We're also on the Florida Rebuild Program.
Okay.
And I don't know when that's going to be.
Well, nobody seems to. Okay.
And the shutters are down are completely off right now. So those are completely gone. We just need.
Oh, so you took those, they're
I
just
took
gone, so that makes that a non-issue, Mr. Sensen, or?
There were, the shutters were down. There was one window that was actually boarded. However, there are windows that's actually broken as well.
Yeah, okay, okay. All right. So what do we have left to do here? The painting? And some window work?
And fence work.
And what?
And the fence.
Oh, so we still have a lot to do. Okay. Board comments?
I would like to make a motion that we impose a fine of $25 a day until they come into compliance.
Can you tell us why you haven't come into compliance? We have a motion on the floor, but do we have a second to that motion?
I'll second that.
Okay, Mr. Reinhardt, I'll let you talk now, and then we'll vote on that.
The contractor that we have cannot start until November.
That's on the fence
But
and everything.
so,
That's the
but
fence, the windows, that's everything we need done.
The
does that include the fencing?
The city's position on this too would be that we would rather you extend to the next cutoff or something than do a $25 fine and then end up coming back for a lien review. It just creates additional administrative work on the back end for our staff that we have to do. So if the intent is just to give a low fine that you would end up reducing at a lien review, in a case where they've given you a clear, established scope of work that will be done in a timeline, we would rather just amend to a timeline that the work will be done.
Okay.
Because
That
compliance
makes
is the
sense
goal.
to me too.
Okay, with that,
All right.
because we have a motion on the floor, so
Yeah, we have a motion.
I'm willing to
Withdraw that?
I'm willing to withdraw.
Okay.
And I have a,
Withdraw, that motion's been withdrawn.
and I have a,
Second too.
okay.
And the second.
And the second,
Withdrawn.
yeah.
Okay.
However, as stated by the captain, the city's recommendation from the inspector was $100 a
Right.
day. So,
Yeah.
we would have been in the same situation.
All right.
So I motion
Well,
that
let's
we extend.
Before we make another motion, can I, does the fence need a permit, Mr. Stenson?
I believe they can repair the fence without a
They
permit,
can
yes.
Okay, so we're not talking about getting permits for any of this work, we just need it done,
No,
right?
correct, correct.
All right, now, go ahead, if somebody wants to make a motion.
And just to clarify, with the new information that they've given us today with the timeline, the city would be amenable. It sounds like they could
Okay.
get everything done by a January cutoff.
Okay,
Real quick question. You said that there are broken windows? So one window? Okay.
Yeah, on the porch.
And we don't know whether or not the window would need to be replaced. Again, I'm going back to the permit issue,
Right.
whether or not it would need a permit for that. That's something that would need to be looked into during that time frame also.
Our contractor has told us that we do need to get a survey for our fence, and then that he's willing to help us with the permits and stuff if we need it.
Okay, and
He's-
surveys are another issue as well, as we know that they're lengthy as well, so that's good to know.
Okay.
Any contacting, that'll be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
So I would motion that we extend to the next cutoff.
Well, January cutoff.
Correct.
who made that, the January cutoff?
I did.
You did. All right, Mr. Gonzalez made a motion that we amend the previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until January 5th, 2022 to come into compliance or be returned to a subsequent meeting for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there a second to that?
I'll second.
All right, Mr. Reinhardt, second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Now, if you're going to need a survey, you better get on this. If you're
Yeah,
going to need a
surveys are-
survey and a permit, I don't know why you'd need a survey and a permit, but it's not up to me. So
Gets his number.
just make sure you either talk to your contractor or you talk to permitting or you talk to Mr. Stenson or all three of them to find out exactly what you need to do, okay?
Okay.
All right, thank you.
We need to get in contact with him.
All right,
Thank you.
25, CEB 09-21-274, Gloria McGowan. McCowan, sorry. Good morning.
Gloria McCowan.
Your name?
Angel McCowan.
Angel? Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll let Mr. Stenson talk, and then we'll give you a chance to say what you'd like.
Okay. Since the last hearing, I've been in contact with the property owner. They have made significant progress. They only have the roof to address at this point. City would like to amend this to the next cutoff.
When you say they only have the roof, do they need a permit and a contractor and all that?
The contractor would make that
Yeah,
determination.
right.
Right,
Okay.
so I don't have that answer.
Okay.
Well, I was going to say, I contacted Total Home Roofing. And he gave me an estimate, and we had 8,000. Then he went up and he saw rotten wood, so he called me yesterday and told me I need 10,000. So I'm in the process of going now when I leave here to get a loan. But because I've gotten, like small loans to meet that 8,000, and me and my daughters. But now, he said 10,000. He told me he'll work with me. But then I got to work with him because, I was trying to keep from putting another mortgage on my home because
Right.
it's paid off. But I think I'm going to have to do that.
Based on those prices, it does sound like it would be work that would require a permit.
Oh,
so-
he's going to do that.
Yeah,
I
make
mean, 'cause
sure-
I went and got. when
Make sure they're doing
appraisal-
that for you.
Yeah, they should do
Yeah.
I picked up a permit, just
Yeah.
because I was going to have somebody else to do it.
Right.
But then he padded my bill, so.
And wood is
I decided to go
What
back.
was your recommendation, Mr. Stenson?
I wanted to amend to the next cutoff,
Okay.
Which is
Within
November
which is
3rd.
Right.
November.
Okay.
I move that we accept the city's
All
recommendation.
right, Chair will entertain motion to amend previous order of noncompliance and allow respondent until 11/3/2021 to come into compliance or return to a subsequent meeting for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Mr. Gonzalez, the motion. Do we have a second? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Thank you, sir.
Good luck.
Y'all have a good one.
Okay. Case number 26, CEB 0921-276, James R. and Benita McClough?
Clue.
All right, no show. Okay, Mr. Stenson?
Since the last hearing, I've had no contact with this property owner. He has started to paint the structure. It's far from being finished. There's been no permit issued or applied for the shed in the front. The city is asking $100 per day to be capped at $10,000.
So move.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez has made a motion to impose a fine of $100 per day effective today and until compliance is achieved or reaches a maximum of $10,000.
Second.
Who was that? Mr. Harrington made the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries.
Madam Chair,
Yes, sir.
that's the end of the continued cases. You're about to start new cases. I didn't know if you wanted to take a second
Yeah, I
for a
think-
small break.
Well, we'll take a 5-minute break. Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and hear the rest of the cases. And let me tell you that the new cases are not really the time to, you see what happens if you don't do the work in the required amount of time, all of you people that are here for new cases, but we're generally just deciding whether it's something, whether you're in compliance or not in compliance. It's very simple, and we look at pictures and we listen to testimony only about compliance, whether you're in compliance or not in compliance. And sometimes it's real easy to tell, and if you want to say, I know I'm not in compliance, that's all we need. And then you come back, we give you time to come into compliance, and then you come back the next month. Nothing more than that happens in this whole next set, okay? All right, so we'll take a few minutes break. Oh, Neil's here. I'm going to resume the meeting. Meeting will now come back to order. We'll start with the new cases.
Tony.
Oh, and we'll wait for Mr. Jackson,
Right.
too.
Madam Chair, I apologize for being late.
Oh,
I had a foot issue. My foot was swollen this morning, so I had to get it to where I could walk on it.
Excused. We didn't,
Madam Chair,
actually, we didn't
Excuse you.
we didn't even have to do a motion to excuse. We said we'd wait because we thought you'd be back.
Right, okay.
We'll schedule for you to see a doctor in 3 years.
Right.
But on the list.
That's funny, man.
It's
3
kind of hard.
years.
We have to wait for Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, we gotta start taking away his water.
Is there any
'cause
problems
he
with
be late.
Yeah, we'll need him.
Okay.
You Captain Lacey here, that's good enough.
Anyway, case number 27 CEB 10-21-294. William Bowie and Stephen Bowie at 207 Pierce. Be sworn in, please.
State your name.
Bowie?
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, Mr. Garcia, good morning.
Good morning. Inspector Garcia, credentials on file with the City of Daytona Beach. This case was opened on June 30th, 2020 as a police complaint for no smoke detectors, outside storage, overgrown grass and weeds, damaged fence, unimproved fencing, rotted wood, holes, cracks, and exterior, on exterior peeling paint and interior and exterior surface, dirt and grime, rubbish, garbage, trash, debris, unsanitary conditions in the interior and the insect infestation, broken windows, no window screens, missing outlet covers, damaged roof. The notice was unclaimed and posted on May 7, 2021. Compliance deadline was June 7, 2021. The last day I re-inspected was on October 1, 2021. Result in my re-inspection finding a non-compliance. I have had no contact until Tuesday, October 12th, 2021 for the first time.
Has there been any improvement?
Very, very little.
Very little, okay. All right, the fact is, there's still stuff left to do, is that correct?
Actually, those pictures are very old. I did not own the property while these were taken. I bought the property subject to a tenant. There's actually a homeless encampment happening right there. I live next door to the property, so this was affecting me personally.
Wait a minute. Are you,
I'm William Bowie.
Those
Those pictures are extremely old. I own it now, but I did not own the property when it was like this. I bought it subject
When
to
did you buy the property?
May of 20, I don't have that information exactly in front of me.
Well, give me a
but
guess.
It was before COVID.
Okay, so a few years.
No. November, about a year.
19.
November 19?
No, of 2020.
Did you buy this as an investment? Is that what you bought it for?
Well, yes, because it was next to me. It was severely affecting me.
I don't understand when you bought this property. I'd like to know.
Before COVID was 19.
Right.
Anyway, you've had it at least a year.
You're correct.
And, okay, the point is,
It doesn't look like that at all anymore. There's nobody
it doesn't
living
matter
there.
what it looks like, there are still issues evidently that need to be addressed. Are you aware of that?
I am, absolutely,
Okay,
yeah.
and that's all we're here today to say. There are
Yeah.
issues that need to be addressed.
Yeah, it's not going to stay like that.
Well, good. I'm glad to hear that. What's the red sign?
Stop
Mr.
work order,
Garcia, what's the red sign?
The red signs, oh, those were stop work orders.
Stop work.
Yeah, that was a stop work order, and then I did several postings. I had, like I said, I had
Okay.
no contact at all until
Do you
I
live there?
came out.
No, I live near there, but I don't live there.
Okay.
Had
Does anyone live there?
No.
No, these are the October more current pictures are apparently are
Yeah.
Well, it doesn't matter, we're not here. Well, I mean, there's still work that needs to be done, and Mr. Bowie has admitted to that. So we're here just for compliance or non-compliance and to set a date, right?
Yeah.
Okay,
Just clarify on the record,
Okay.
Madam Chair.
all right.
Well,
All right, so, Cheryl, is there any, I don't know what.
Well, I got a question, but
Go ahead.
it's about the stop work orders. What is that?
Well, there was work being done after the police had went in and then
Okay.
closed it off and whatnot. We found that there was work being done, so we came back and issued a stop work order for them not to do it.
Okay.
And not to continue until there was permits and whatnot.
Permit, okay.
He means there's work being done that would have normally required a permit.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah, so he's ordered them to stop until a permit was obtained for the work.
And,
And has
being that I've never, some of the pictures that you see in the inside were old, I have not been able to get inside. I have not had contact with anybody allow me to do a reinspection to do the inside and take updated pictures.
Okay,
So I would make a motion
The
that
sale
we
of the-
accept the city's recommendation.
all right,
There is a permit in place now.
okay, that's good. But there's still, all we're here today to do is determine whether there's still left work to do.
Yes.
Okay? Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or the respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned to the board for
That's
consideration.
what I said we.
Wait a minute.
I had moved that we accept the city's recommendation.
That is,
That would be their recommendation.
that is the recommendation.
Right.
Okay, so Mr. Gonzalez made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. It would be in your best interest to talk to Mr. Garcia and see what it is exactly you need to do to come into compliance and what permit, and talk, if you need to go down to permits and licensing and talk to them. That would be in your best interest as well, okay? Thank you. Case number 28, CEB 10-21-295, Michael Malik. Okay. Go ahead, Mr. Stenson.
Good morning, John Stenson, Code Inspector with the city. My qualifications are on file. This case was complaint-driven for a damaged roof. Notice of violation was issued and received on 14 July of 21. I've had one call from this property owner who advised that they couldn't afford the repairs or to replace the roof. Compliance was due by 28 July of this year. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday, and property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for compliance by next cutoff.
Okay.
So moved. Second.
All right, Mr. Harrington has made a motion and Mr. Gonzalez a second to find respondent non-compliance or respondent committed compliance by the next cutoff date, November 3rd, to be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 29, CEB 10-21-296, Isabel Rocco. Okay. Not here? All right, go ahead, Mr. Stenson.
Good morning again. This is a complaint-driven case concerning peeling paint. The property was posted on 27 July of this year. I've had no contact with this property owner. Compliance was due on 17 August of this year. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. Recommendation is non-compliance. Compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by 11/3/21 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Harrington, second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Case number 30, CEB 10-21-297, Brenda Peterson, Trust. Not here. Anyone here? No? Okay.
This is a complaint-driven case in the Pelican Bay subdivision. They were cited for unmaintained landscaping, damaged driveway, exterior walls. The notice was received on 14 May of this year. I've had no contact with this prior property owner. Compliance was due on 4 June of this year. There have been multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. Property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for non-compliance by the next cutoff.
The property's occupied?
The property is not occupied.
It's not?
It is not.
Okay. I got a question. How come these HOAs aren't jumping on these people?
Funny you mentioned that. I have a meeting with Pelican Bay HOA tomorrow. The HOA has been addressing some of the overgrowth, but I guess it's just became a little bit too much for them to deal with.
Well, when in your meeting, maybe you should suggest to them that they take the time and energy to get somebody to keep their lawns and all, and then bill through their HOA, instead of making you do their dirty work.
We will definitely have that conversation.
Good.
Okay. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/21, or be returned to the board for consideration fine of up to $1,000 a day. Ms. Himes made a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. case number 31, CEB 10-21-298, Delbert Gale. Is Mr. Gale here?
Yes.
Yep, okay. Good morning.
State your name for the record.
Name is Delbert Darren Gale.
Raise your right hand.
Delbert Darren Gale.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll hear from Mr. Stenson first, and then we'll give you a chance to address the compliance issue. Go ahead, Mr. Stenson.
Good morning. This is a field-generated case. Property owner was cited for unmaintained landscaping, outside storage, parking, damaged fencing, junk vehicle, lack of address numbers, and damaged roof. The notice of violation was received on 27 April of this year. I've had no contact with this property owner until today. Compliance was due on 18 May. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. Property remains in non-compliance. We're asking for compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay, so there are a lot of issues here. Outside storage, unmaintained landscaping, parking in yard, damaged fencing, junk vehicles, no address numbers, and
No
damaged
junk
roof.
vehicle there.
What?
It's not no junk vehicle. All my vehicles is insurance and license. And that's not mine. That's my truck is right there, is license and insurance. I'm just sick for 5 years. I can't do nothing. I have cancer, I have hernia, I have surgery, and I've been sick. I'm fighting for my life just to even breathe. I went to the doctor down to last week, get a CAT scan, and I had no help. Everybody tried, asked for help. I had some guys come around with black cars. Then other guys stayed there. Nobody gave me help, That's my truck. I work here for over 30 odd years with that truck. Pay my tax. I
Okay,
have a
let
business.
me ask you a question. I mean, we see that there are some things that need to still be done, right?
Yes, there's
And
plenty
you
of
know
stuff
that.
I had to
Okay.
done.
Do you
Those-
have any, I'm just asking you, it's probably not pertinent, but do you have help?
I try to get help to help me out, no? But there's promise, but they don't come. I work with these guys for 30 odd years, give them work. I cut trees, I pay my tax here, I have a business right here. And because I'm sick for 5 years, they turn their back on me. You can't get no help. That car, even yesterday I asked them to give me a hand, tore down that shade, and they won't give me. It's kind of hard for me. I can't do it by myself. I'm on the doctor treatment. I'm taking about 8 tablets every day. It's very hard.
I know.
But I need some time to do whatever I got to do when I'm.
Have you done anything?
I don't know. It's so hard. I have a trailer there. They can help me clean up that place. But every time I ask, and they know I'm sick, and they won't help me. It's hard. You see, that
All right,
thing right
okay.
there, I need to tear that down. Get rid of that, and then I ask for help. Those are junk. I can take
All right,
and make
so
some money.
all we're going to do today, sir, is find you in compliance or non-compliance. Nobody's fining you. You see if you can spend some time getting some help, whatever. Ask Mr. Stenson what to do, what you need to do to come into compliance.
My motion to accept the
All right,
status.
okay. Ms. Himes has made a motion to find respondent in non-compliance in order to respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3. It will be returned to the board
I'm gonna
for
stay
consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed.
I have a request.
Motion carries. Go ahead.
Is it possible for the city to maybe inform him or educate him to some resources
Yes.
that he might be
Yeah.
able to use?
Yeah, I mean, he has trouble, I can, yeah, okay. So Mr. Stenson's gonna help you.
Thank you.
Stay in touch with him,
Yes, ma'am. I will.
and we'll work with you if you can
Yeah, I wanna make my place nice because this is my town and I'm a landscaper. But I'm just sick, you know.
I know.
The sick is sick. I started from hernia. Then they checked me for eye surgery. I go for my both eyes. Then they checked me even for hepatitis. They can't find nothing come up with cancer.
Okay,
Uncle, last week I go get CAT scan. I can't even survive.
okay.
You know, it's hard. And they won't
All
help
right,
me.
well, Mr. Stenson will try and help you get some things done, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Case number 32, CEB 1021-300.
I will call it.
Miss Patricia Hurd. Good morning.
Good morning.
State your name and address for the record and be sworn in, please.
Patricia Hamilton Hurd.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll let Mr. Stenson speak first.
Good morning. This is a complaint-driven case for the damaged roof on the accessory structure, meaning the detached structure behind the house.
Where we see, is that tarp on that?
That's correct.
Okay, green tarp, okay.
Notice of violation was posted on property on 6/30 of this year. I have been in contact.
Wait a minute, let him finish, and then we'll give you a chance to talk.
I have been in contact with property owner. Compliance was due on 28 July of this year. Multiple re-inspections, the last one being yesterday. The property remains in non-compliance. Asking for non-compliance, next cutoff.
All right, I have a question for you. On this picture, I see green tarp. On the other picture, I don't?
That's correct. That's because the green tarp was removed and some sheet metal was placed on top of there.
Okay. Go ahead, Ms. Hurd.
June 20th, I think that's what you say. Where did you send the letter? What address did you send it to? I did not receive it.
The certified notice was sent to the address provided by the property appraiser, which is 1404 3rd Street.
1401.
However, that notice was returned unclaimed, and I posted the property at 835 Vernon. I posted City Hall, and I sent first-class mail.
And she's here today, so
Okay, the top that was on the
How
house,
did you know how to come if you didn't get a notice?
that was the first one I was speaking of.
Oh, okay.
And the second one, to be honest with you, when I opened that letter, it's music. And basically, I've been having trouble with the tenants down there with
So
music.
there are people that live in there?
Yes.
Okay, I'm just asking.
The roof in the back at the accessory, the whole thing did not need doing. The top was not that large. It was large, but it was covered a space, a small space. But anyway, the 10 is up there now.
So it was fixed, that's what you're saying.
So you're saying it is in compliance?
It is in compliance.
Mr. Stenson, in your opinion, is that roof in compliance, and why or why not?
My opinion, no, the property is not in compliance. If you're going to repair the roof, it looks like the tin was put on the entire roof, which means that there should have been a permit applied for, obtained,
Say it was what
inspected.
now?
They needed a permit.
A permit was needed for this work. That didn't happen.
Okay, I spoke to the person who did it, and they were not aware that you have to have a permit for a shed
No.
out back.
Okay. But you are?
Now I am.
According to, okay, so, if for no other reason, it's not in compliance because there's no permit. So that you would need to go downstairs and talk permits and licensing and get a permit and keep in touch with Mr. Stenson. Because as of right now, it's not in compliance.
Yes, I understand.
Okay. And it may or may not be in compliance, but the permit, you at least need a permit. Okay,
May I ask you a question?
sure.
Does code enforcement need other workers? Is there an opening? Maybe I can apply.
For where? Here, board?
No,
See Captain Lee.
Oh, okay, yeah, see Captain Lee. Yeah. He'll tell you. Okay, we're going to vote on this. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date of 11/3 or be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Motion, Ms. Roby, second.
I'll second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay. I'd go talk to the permitting department. Okay. All right, and then talk to Mr. Stenson again. Case number 33, CEB 10-21-29. This is Mr. Bostrick. Lawrence and Hester Grace Trust. Anybody here? Okay.
It's a Zoom
Oh,
case.
hello.
Hello,
Okay.
State your name for the record.
my name is Riley Grace.
Raise your right hand.
Oh, sorry. There you go.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I swear.
Thank you.
Rybald. Okay, we're going to let Mr. Bostrick talk about the case, and then if you need to respond, you can. Okay? Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Good morning, Inspector Boster with the city, credentials on file. This case was opened on April 19th of 2021 for roof and drainage, inoperable vehicle, outside storage. First notification was on July 13th. Compliance was due August 13th of 2021. Last day of reinspection was August 12th of 2021. The result of reinspection, non-compliance. I've spoken with the owner a couple of times. There has been a lot of progress made. Outside storage has, been moved. The vehicle now has a tag on it. The only thing left to do is the roof. I spoke with the owner, like I said, on a few occasions. Staff requests finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay. So we can see the pictures of the roof. It still looks like that as of when?
It still looks like that now,
Okay.
actually. Truth be told, bottom line, my father passed. This property was going to pass to my sister.
Right?
She was not able to basically take all of it on. He was a hoarder. There was a lot to do to get this thing, even moving in the right direction. I'm up there every other weekend working on that. Bottom line is, I'm in the process of retaining an attorney so that I can obtain successorship for the property. I have
To
other
obtain
siblings
what?
involved.
Possession?
I'm in the process of retaining an attorney so that I can obtain successorship, so that I can pull permits at all.
Okay.
So that's what we ran into with the roof. My sister actually had it inspected. There are 3 leaks in the roof. My father, who passed, ironically, was a roofer and did his best. They're not leaking internally, but the tarps obviously are an eyesore, and the roof needs to be worked on. I'm asking, if possible, to be held off until a December cutoff. I have a court date that will also, in there, free up some money for me that will allow me not only to obtain to retain the attorney, but also to pull the permit and get the work going on the roof, hopefully by early December.
Okay. All right. I understand what you're asking. So we need to work on the roof. You obviously know that. And you're asking for a little bit more time. I'm all right with that.
The city has no objection to the
Okay.
January cutoff.
All right. Okay.
I would motion that we find him in noncompliance, because he is in noncompliance.
Right.
and
And
give
allow-
them till the January.
Right.
Cutoff.
Till January 5th, 2022, to come into compliance or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Motion, Mr. Gonzalez.
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. You got some time. Thank you.
I'll get it done. Thank you, council.
Thank you
Appreciate
very
it.
much.
Mm,
Okay.
Bye.
Case number 34, CEB 10-21-291. Yulia Kekchen and Yana Sivitz. Good morning.
My name is Yana Sivets. We live in 1515 South Peninsula Drive.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Thank you.
All right, this case was opened on May 5th of 2021 for peeling and fading paint on the exterior walls. First notification was on May 7th of 2021. Compliance was due by June 14th of 2021. Last day of reinspection was October 11th. Non-compliance, I have spoken to the owner a few times, and they have started the prep work to paint the job. Staff requests finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Okay, so we still need to address the peeling and fading. It's not finished yet, that's all.
Yeah, we'll start painting, yeah.
Okay, so,
We need more time, please.
yeah. So we're just, Chair will entertain motion to find respond non-compliance or respond to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day.
So moved.
Second.
Motion, Mrs. Himes, second, Mr. Gonzalez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion
Okay,
carried.
thank you so
Thank you
much.
very
Have a good
much.
day.
Okay, case 35, CEB 10-21-293, Eugene Michelson.
All right, this case was opened on July 19th of 2021 for roof drainage, rust on the garage door, and overgrown landscaping. First notification was on July 20th of 2021. Compliance was due August 23rd. Last day of reinspection, October 12th. Result, non-compliance. No contact with the owner. Staff requests finding of non-compliance with compliance due next cutoff.
Does anybody live there, just out of curiosity?
Nope.
Okay. All right, Chair will entertain motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 11/3/2021 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day. Such a motion?
Second.
Motion, Ms. Roby, second, Ms. Himes. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 36, to be Mr. Butler. CEB 09-21-281, Willetta Harmon. Ms. Harmon here? Okay. Good morning.
Good morning.
Again?
As it pertains to 836 Berkshire Road, this case was a citizen complaint case. A site inspection was conducted on August 24th, 2020, where it was determined the property has several violations: overgrown landscaping along the fence line, electrical issues, outdoor storage, dilapidated fascia, soffit board, and damaged exterior walls. First notice received on June 30th, 2021. The property was to be in compliance on August the 11th, 2021. Last date of my reinspection was September the 29th, 2021. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had one verbal conversation with the owner. Staff requests finding of non-compliance next cutoff for all violations with the exception of the life safety issue of exposed wiring to be brought into compliance within 10 days.
What is the life, which one is the life safety issue? The
Keep going
electric?
right here with electrical here. And also they would need a contractor for that, a pull a permit one.
Somebody's living in there?
Yes, it's a rental property.
Oh, boy.
I make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
All right, the city, how long do you want to give them to take care of this life safety issue?
Said
10 days.
10 days.
10 days.
Can I amend
Yeah,
my?
yeah.
If they're not in compliance within the 10 days with the safety issue, that a fine begins.
Yes. And I will request $200 per day with a cap of $15,000.
We can't do an auto fine like that. We would need to have a determination of their noncompliance to be able to proceed with fine.
Well, I just said,
So we can't,
I just said fine them in
no,
non-compliance.
we're not in the,
The city
we're
said,
not, this is just to determine compliance or non-compliance and to order them to, in addition to,
What it will allow you to do is
or
that it-
order them to fix the life safety issue in 10 days, correct?
Correct.
Have
Right.
you had any contact with them?
One.
One time?
Do they live here?
Yeah,
If you
Yeah.
don't, then you can define it in a meeting.
yeah, Madam Chair.
what, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, Madam Chair, what the order would be that we'd be asking for there to be an order for them to come into compliance within 30 days. And in addition, as it relates specifically to the electrical, the safety violation, that they come into compliance within 10 days.
Right.
Failing either one of those, that they be subject to a fine of up to $1,000.
Okay.
very good. That's what I was trying to say.
Okay, all right. So the chair will entertain a motion by respondent not non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by 11/3 or be, and further orders that they address the life safety issues, the electric life safety issue within 10 days or return to the board for consideration of a fine for this up to $1,000 per day.
And just so that it's real clear, Madam Chair, if I could just ask that, or state the clarification of 10 days, meaning 10 calendar days.
10 calendar days, not, okay, not work days, calendar days, okay.
The other thing I got a question about, I'm sorry.
Go ahead,
is,
that's all right.
Since it's a rental, I don't know what they can do since it's in such bad shape, and they're not talking to Mr. Butler.
We might want to consider asking that they be removed. But that's the next meeting.
Yeah, we can't do anything, we've done legally what we can do right now is order them to fix those things, the life safety issue, and then, well, so what happens if after 10 days they're just found, so,
So the fact that you set a different compliance date for the life
Right.
safety issue, if it wasn't corrected by that cutoff date,
Right.
it would allow you to enact the fine as of that date, correct?
As of that date.
Correct,
Right.
Tony?
Yes, that's correct, at the
but there's,
subsequent meeting.
but there's
We're
a,
not gonna be in here. We're not gonna be here to levy a fine.
November issue. will.
You would
right,
be,
we'll be here in
November,
November to
next
levy the
meeting.
fine, but, and it can
Going
be
back to that date,
retroactive.
Retroactive.
Yeah, and in either sense would be the subsequent meeting, so even if it was the
But
January.
the danger, how does the danger get, if they don't do it, I mean, money doesn't fix the danger, so.
Right. If the
I
house
think
burns
that's the
down.
question.
I guess we,
that's a
from the
civil-
code, and I'm sure Mr. Senior would say the same.
The premises.
Yeah, that's,
Vacate the,
of the board at this stage is really a fine power, not a injunctive power. So the board would have to, yeah, that's what the condemnation would be. So the city would have to
Okay.
take out additional action.
I get it.
They saw it.
Okay, so
I
we're
would say the
doing,
motion
we're doing as much
stands.
as we can do.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, is there such a motion?
Yeah, I already
Motion,
did it.
Second?
I already did it.
Gonzalez?
No, I already stated the motion.
Oh, you did? All right,
Yeah.
Mr. Gonzalez, the motion. Ms. Roby, the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay. Let's go to case 37, CEB 0921-287, Verlita Briggs.
Okay. As it pertains to 1142 Lewis Drive, this is a field generating case. The site inspection was conducted on February the 1st, 2021, where it was determined there were facial damage and outdoor storage violations at the property. First notice received on July 15, 2021. August 26, 2021, the violation was to be in compliance. Last date of my reinspection was October the 4th, 2021. Result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had several contacts with the property owner, whom has conducted a lot of work at the property. Staff requests finding of non-compliance next cutoff.
All right, let the record show that Mr. Gonzalez has stepped out for a minute. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3, will be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
Second.
Who was that? Mr. Reinhardt?
No, Mr. Harrington.
Harrington, second.
Second.
Ms. Himes, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. CEB 10-21-303, case number 38, William Berthrong. Good morning.
William I. Berthrong, residing at 1241 Dalmaso.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do.
Thank you.
Okay.
As it pertains to 1241 Dalmaso Drive, this is a field-generated case. The site inspection was conducted on April 28, 2021, was to determine the property had overgrown landscaping, missing house numbers on the structure, and dirt and grime issues. First notice received on May 19, 2021. June 30th, 2021, the violation was to be in compliance. Last date of reinspection was September 29, 2021. The result of my reinspection was non-compliance. I've had several contacts with the property owner. Some work has been conducted. Staff requests finding of non-compliance, next cutoff.
Okay, well, do you want to say anything? I mean, there's still some work to do, right?
Oh, yes, there's
Okay.
some more to do. And that brick, that white on the brick looks a bit worse in the pictures than it does in person.
Okay.
I'm
All right.
surprised.
Okay. All right, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Harrington, the motion. Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case number.
Thank you.
So just, stay in touch with Mr. Butler, okay? So when the work gets done, you can have him come out and inspect it and put you in compliance, and you won't have to come back. Okay, Mr. Yates, good morning. Case number 39, CEB 10-21-304, Stephen Jones. Mr. Jones here? Okay.
Inspector Kevin Yates, Neighborhood Services. My credentials are on file. This case was opened January 21st, 2021, and was a citizen's complaint. The notice of violation was issued for broken windows, peeling paint, and dirt and grime. They were first notified April 1st, 2021, and compliance was due May 13th, 2021. We've had contact with the owner, and actually at this point, everything has been corrected except for the window. And he informed me that the window was corrected as of this morning. So I'd like to ask for compliance to be due by the next cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date or be returned 11/3/2021 or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
So moved.
Harrington, the motion.
second.
Mr. Reinhardt, the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 40, CEB 10-21-305. Janine Lauren Angelotti.
Morning.
Good morning.
State your name.
Janine Lauren Angelotti.
You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Yates.
This case was opened March 3rd, 2021, and was a citizen's complaint. The notice of violation was issued for damaged exterior siding. They were first notified March 11, 2021, and compliance was due April 22nd, 2021. We've had contact with the owner, but at this point, the issue still remains unresolved. I'd like to ask for a finding of non-compliance with compliance due by the next cutoff.
Okay, so you need some new siding.
I'm not going to get new siding. Under that siding is hardy board.
Oh.
And my house used to be brown with tan, and I had a little bit of like a, I don't know, a hunter green trim on it, and then I had it painted white. Now, I've owned my home over 20 years. I've never met Mr. Yates yet. This will be hello to him. And that piece of siding is fixed. I have a picture of it. I've fixed it since I've been told a couple of times, but I've never met Mr. Yates. He never comes out. And if you can see from my home, I care about it. I take very good care of it. And if you enlarge in that picture just one more time so you can see the wall next to me and the garage door next to me, that's been like that for 15 years. Not to complain about Mr. Yates about complaining about me.
Yeah, 'cause that's not doing any good. Do you?
No, but it's not doing any good, but my job is done. My point is, it's done. It's all painted. It's pretty.
Okay. All right.
It's finished.
So
It's been finished,
then-
but it's not been.
It's not been re-inspected yet.
Exactly.
Okay, so
Just-
still not, until it's re-inspected, it's not in compliance.
Well, all he had to do is come out and see it. in this
Well,
whole
you-
time.
you need-
And I've gotten
Have you called to
this
reinspect?
many pieces of paper on this piece of wood. It's a lot of papers.
Just in defense of Mr. Yates,
Uh-huh.
I understand this was a citizen complaint, so one of your neighbors initiated.
Obviously.
Yeah.
And I'm not sure which neighbor, except for
Well, it
probably the
doesn't
next
matter.
door
Look, We're
neighbor.
getting off course here.
Okay.
What- The process is that you call Mr. Yates and say, I'm ready for you to come inspect it and put it into compliance for me. That's all you have to do.
Okay.
And if he puts it into compliance, we won't have to see you again. It's pretty simple.
And so if I'm not happy, if just a customer and a resident, and I do go to all my meetings, but if I'm not happy, who is it? I go to city
Commissioner.
council? Okay, then that's where I will go. Okay, thank you very much.
When we get
Miss-
one.
Pardon me?
When we get one.
We'll get one. And Mr. Yates, nice to finally meet you. Thank you so much for all your work.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance and order respondent to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3, 2021, and or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Ms. Roby made the motion, Ms. Himes the second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion.
Just a question,
Motion
not with,
carried.
citizens' complaints are no longer allowed to be anonymous?
Correct.
No.
Correct, but this complaint was made in March
Okay,
3rd,
I
so
just-
so that is anonymous.
That was before.
Yeah, the old law.
This is why they're
July, when it's.
people apart. Okay.
Can I?
Sorry about that.
I'll save it for miscellaneous business.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, now we are, now at case 41, CEB 10-21-307, Lawrence Vandenberg, 269 Williams. Mr. Vandenberg here? No. Okay.
Not here? Okay. We would like to extend it, or not extend,
Yeah.
continue it to the next hearing to allow Mr. Vandenberg to be able to appear. He unfortunately is out of the country, and due to internet in the area, he's telling us he's unable to get on Zoom.
Okay, does anybody have an issue with that?
Nope.
Nope.
Extending it to,
Next
Continue.
meeting?
Yeah.
No permit for garage conversion into living space. Oh.
Well, I had a question. I mean, because we got people that's been traveling,
Correct.
truck driving, they come into Zoom,
Correct.
so why he can't Zoom?
He don't have internet connection. He's having
Yeah,
problems.
he's out of country in an area where it was not doable, and
Can you tell me when
he
you notified
communicated
him
with
of
us.
this?
Absolutely.
Madam Chair, if I may, this is before the board on the first time, and this is an election to continue as opposed to withdrawing
Right.
and reciting it. I mean, the option of the city at this point is that it hasn't been heard by the staff, by the board, and so it's really not.
We we just can't find him in non-compliance and order him to come into compliance?
That's not our request. We don't believe that he's prejudiced. We don't believe that that the board or the staff is prejudiced by allowing him this continuance based on what he's requested of the staff. So that's the staff.
Well, is he in compliance? That's the question.
Well, it would, if he was in compliance, we wouldn't be bringing it before you.
Okay,
I mean,
so he's in
That's
non-compliance.
their case yet.
Right. So we could vote
No.
to find him in
No,
non-compliance.
here to defend
you,
themselves.
if you're not amenable to a continuance and the city changes their request to withdraw the case.
Oh, okay. So we're doing this guy a favor.
Motion to continue. is
No, sir.
Just for clarification, judicial economy is what it's called, and it's to avoid being able to just have to file it all over again. So we're asking to continue it. But if the election is that you would rather us to just withdraw it instead of continuing it, then we're amenable to that, but our preference would be to just continue it.
All right. So I'll make a motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
No
which
good
is
deed.
to continue until.
Right, which is to continue the case
11.
Right.
until 11/3. Well, no, 11/11,
Next meeting.
next meeting,
Right.
2021. Mr. Gonzalez made a motion. Is there a second? Second, Ms. Roby. All in favor, say aye.
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 Like sign opposed.
Thank you.
We'll talk about, I think we should,
Madam,
go ahead.
I had nerve burning, and I've been here since the first part, and I'm getting.
Go ahead, what's your
very
case number?
uncomfortable.
Okay, what,
48. May
come
I
right up,
please?
come right up.
Thank you.
Janice and Morris Fulford?
Yes, but
Yeah,
she's Janice,
okay.
not Mars.
Okay. Case number 48, we're going to hear CEV 10-21-311.
Good morning, Pam.
Good morning. Sorry, I wish you had told me sooner, we would have heard it sooner.
I thought I could sit through it,
Yeah,
but I
okay,
can't.
that's all right.
State your name.
My name is Janice H. Fulford. Morris Fulford name shouldn't be on this. He's
Ah.
my brother. I don't know how it got changed. Matter of fact, all of my notification, except for I had I don't know about him.
All right, did you get sworn in yet?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
State your name.
Paul Thomas.
Paul Thomas.
Yeah.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Thank you.
And,
Well, wait, just wait a second.
okay.
We'll listen to what you want to say, but first we're going to listen to what Mr. Fitzgerald has to say.
I did a site visit on December 21st, 2020, and opened a case for damaged roof with blue tarp, paint, fading and peeling on the fascia board and eaves, and a damaged chain link fence. The notice of violation was signed for on May 6, 2021, and was to come into compliance by June 6, 2021. At this time, I'm asking for non-compliance next cutoff.
Okay, so I see tarp, so obviously there's.
It's not there.
Not there.
I have titanium
Yes, we put titanium paper on there now.
right now until I can get it done.
Okay, all right,
The
that's what I
fence is
wasn't.
always done too. And he's not the one. I talked to the blonde. She's the one that I had talked to. And they were posting the information at the wrong address. My address is visible 422, but they kept putting it at 424 Jefferson. So it was, but I gave, so I think it was Kim, that I called to find out what was going on. But the first time I did meet him, but I didn't see him anymore.
Okay.
Yeah,
Put up too.
yeah.
Well, we'll address that some other time.
Oh, he
Anyway.
got the pictures that he can show you now.
Okay, but
Up
I
to
don't
date.
need to see them.
Okay.
Because I'm not the one, we'll see them at some point.
Yes,
Right now, we're here to determine whether you're in compliance or whether you're not in compliance, whether there's still work left to do.
it's still work to do.
Okay, that's all.
Thank you.
That's all. All right. Now, do you want to address who is Morris Fulford?
That's my brother, but his name is not on the property. That's what I'm saying. I don't know how his name got added
Okay, well, let's
to mine.
see.
His name is on the property appraiser site. I checked
Well,
that
you
just
need
now.
to take that up with the county then, okay? It doesn't,
I understand.
yeah, but that's a county issue and we have nothing to
I
do
got
with
you.
that.
No
Okay,
problem.
Okay. Mr. Thomas, why, are you just here for support?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Okay, so if you've done this work,
Well, we took the tops off already, and we have some titanium, some roofing paper on there now that I put on there. And I also fixed the fence in the backyard.
okay,
I have pictures of that.
okay. So we don't put you in compliance, it would be Mr. Fitzgerald. So I know, well, he'll give you his card and you can call him and he can come and look, and you need to stay in touch with him because he's the one that's going to come up here and testify that you're either in compliance or you're not in compliance. Do we have a notification issue here?
Yes.
You say that,
They put it at 424 and I live at 422 Jefferson.
Madam
how did you know to be here today?
I received this at the right address. But all of the
Okay,
notifications.
all right, so we
Yeah.
have, notification has been accomplished.
Yes.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
all right. Okay, so all we're here today is just, you still have work to do.
Yes,
Not
it's in progress.
Madam
Okay.
Chair, I motion that we accept the city's recommendation.
Okay,
Second.
It's cut off.
all right.
The inspector had his hand up.
I'm sorry, did you want to say something?
Just the amount of work they did, they need to check with permits and licenses to see if you needed a permit for the repair, because it was pretty
I
large.
just pretty much wanted to stop the leak, you know, it was just like a small leak, so.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
why I put the titanium paper up there, and that's the best paper you can use roofing paper, you know. And I fixed the fence in the backyard.
Okay, but you may,
And only thing
you
need to be
listen
done
to what
to that.
Mr. Fitzgerald is saying.
Yeah.
Right, got you. I
That you
hear.
might need to go down to permits and licensing, okay?
To fix my fence in the backyard?
No, the roof is.
The roof.
The roof? Okay, I got you. Thank you.
All right, so, Mrs. Himes made a motion of, to find respondent in noncompliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine of up to $1,000 a day. There's a second?
Yeah, I second it.
Sorry, second, Mr. Gonzalez, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay, so stay in touch with him, he has a card he can give you.
I got it.
Oh,
Okay.
okay.
And
Thank you,
just
y'all.
stay in
Have a
touch.
blessed day.
All right, you
And
too.
thank you.
Okay. All right, go back, where were we?
42.
42, Susan.
Case number 41?
41, that's when we
No,
continue.
42. 42,
Oh, you
yeah,
can
we
back in.
continued case 41. All right, 42, CEB 1021318. Syed Inman Ali Imam.
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Oh, hello, another Zoom call.
Yes.
Okay,
State your
all
name.
right, go ahead.
State your name for the record, please.
My legal name is Syed Ali Imam. I go by the name of Ali.
Okay. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I do swear that I will say nothing but the truth. Correct.
All right,
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to hear from Ms. Kirk.
Hey, this is a complaint-generated case that I opened on October 27th of 2020 for an expired residential repair permit and outside storage. First notice was November 13th of 2020. I have had contact with the owner. I re-inspected the property yesterday. It's still in noncompliance. Staff is requesting a finding of noncompliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay, so, sir, you still have work to do there, right?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me just quickly just run you through the history of this property, and then I was
Well,
not
you
aware
know what? I mean, you can do that, but very quickly, because if there's still work to do, we're going to determine a time to do it. We don't need to know the history of the property, but I'm, go ahead.
Yeah, just two things that I would like
Okay.
to say. I have been required. I got a work permit which could not be extended, which Ms. Kirk had requested. In order for that to be really extended, the building department told me that they need to get I need to file for a new one, for which I need an engineering plan, an architectural design, and a survey. And given everything that seems to be going on, it just took me like, I've just gotten the survey done. I'm still working with the engineer. And as soon as these documents are done, I intend to either request a renewal of the permit or just pay another fee and get a new permit and finish this work done.
All right,
As far
what
as-
I don't understand, and I'm going to ask Ms. Kirk this, what is the repair permit for? I mean, the citing is for outside storage.
Okay, there was a permit that was applied for in April of 17 to repair rotten studs, wood, hold on a second, siding, re-roof, and windows. So the permit expired.
So it was all, okay.
It was issued in May of 2017.
2017.
Right, it expired in December of 18. In February of 21, there was communication between Mr. Aman and the building department, and he was told via email regarding what was needed to proceed to either reissue the expired permit or to have a new permit issued. And there was a list of what was needed. This was in February of 2021. Nothing's been done since then.
Just for clarification, to add to what she's told you, anytime somebody pulls a permit, if they do not go through the proper inspections and finalize the permit, and the permit becomes expired, if we find that later, what happens is any work that was conducted under that permit becomes work that was conducted outside of a permit.
Right.
Because that permit was never inspected
Right.
and final.
Fine.
So
Right.
that's what you're seeing addressed here. That's
Okay.
that's the outcome of
Okay.
what's
All right.
what's
Okay.
happened.
Your Honor, may I just
One
say
more
that
thing.
there were certain inspections done. There were inspections done on the windows. Eventually, when the building inspector came over, he deemed that I had opened up a lot more than I should have, and therefore I should get certain other documentation, which meant getting an engineering plan of interior design work done and a survey. And I said, that is fine. If that is what is required, I'll be happy to do that. And that is what I'm doing. It's just
Okay.
taking a lot of time.
Yes, okay, well, so right now, it's not finished, and so we're gonna probably find you in non-compliance if everybody agrees to that up here. And then you work on getting that permit reinstated or doing whatever you need to do.
Yeah,
And
I
stay
will
in
do
touch.
that. And for the record, Your Honor, if whatever Ms. Kirk requires to be done outside the four corners of the house in terms of any storage or anything that is still there, I have a gardener who comes there every month and he cuts the grass and everything. And anything else in terms of storage or something that should not be there in the front yard or the backyard, I will be happy to take care of that
Okay.
within a week.
All right, good. Okay, well, just call Ms. Kirk then. All right, Chair will entertain
I will
motion to
do.
find respondent in non-compliance or respondent committed to compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 a day.
So moved.
Mr. Reinhardt made motion. Ms. Himes second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Motion carries. Case,
Thank you very much.
all right, thank you, sir. Case
Thank-
43, CEB 10-21-319, Clarence Edward Walker Jr. Is he here?
Hey, this was a complaint-generated case I received from the police department on April 1st of '21.
From the
for-
what department?
Police department.
Okay.
For multiple violations, poor living conditions. First notice was April 28th of 2021. There's been quite a lot of progress. I have had contact with the property management company. I re-inspected yesterday, and it's almost in compliance.
Really?
So staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay.
I move that we accept the city's recommendation.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez has made a motion, Ms. Himes seconded a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. Okay, case 44, it's a Zoom call, CEB 1021320, George Starks. Hello, Mr. Starks, you there? He was there.
Yeah, it moved.
Probably got tired.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
We're here.
Okay.
We can't see you, but we're here.
Okay, well,
Okay, I kind of see you over in the corner there. Okay.
all right.
Go ahead, be sworn in, state your name, and then we'll swear you in.
Okay, George L. Starks.
Madam Chair, we need to be able to see him for the swearing.
See if you can, get a little closer in. That would be wonderful. Thank you.
Can you raise your right hand? State your name for the record.
George L. Starks.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Correct.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. All right, we're going to hear from Ms. Kirk.
So field-generated case I opened on May 19th of 2021 for damaged exterior surfaces, broken boarded windows, damaged porch landing, roof and peeling paint. First notice was May 26th of 21. I have had contact with the property owner. There is a permit issued as of October 4th of 21. I'm requesting a finding of noncompliance with compliance by the January cutoff.
Okay. All
Okay,
right.
so, sir, even though we can't see you, what we're going to be voting on, well, I think he's in a wheelchair or something.
Yeah, I think so.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. What we're going to be voting on right now is we know that you're working on it, and there's still some things that need to be done. So that means non-compliance, but we're giving you till January to do it.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so we'll have that vote now. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent to come into compliance by the January cutoff date, which is 1/5/22, or be returned to the board for consideration or fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion? Motion, Ms. Roby, second, Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you.
Case number 45, CEB, what's the matter? CEB 10-21-321, Anthony McQueen.
This was a complaint generated case that I opened on March 29th of 21 for damaged fascia on the side, the trim. First notice was June 11th of 21. I have had contact. I re-inspected yesterday as a non-compliance. Staff is requesting a finding of non-compliance with compliance by the next cutoff.
Okay. All right. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance and respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration for fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion, Ms. Himes. Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed, motion carries. Case 46, CEB 0921-285, Minnie and Patrick Torrance. And this is Mr. Fitzgerald.
Evening.
Hello, how are you?
Good.
State your name.
Jeffrey Torrance, 375 Walnut Street.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, we'll get right to you. Go ahead.
I'm sorry, what's this relationship to?
Yeah,
Oh.
really, Jeffrey, you're
The brother, well, actually my mother. I'm the son.
son of Minnie?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Site visit July 9th, 2020. Case was opened for violations of the International Private Maintenance Code for outside storage, junk car, damaged fence and gutters and windows, dirt and grime.
Okay. Anything?
No, not, okay, yeah, the violation was signed for on August 10th, 2020, and was supposed to come into compliance by September 10th, 2020. I'm asking for next non-compliance, next cutoff.
Okay. So you still have work to do on there, Jeffrey, right?
Yes, ma'am. It don't look like that. I got something done.
Oh, good.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, we'll give you some more time to do it, but there's still stuff that needs to be done, okay?
Mhm. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Second. Motion, Mr. Reinhardt, second. Was that Mr. Harrington?
Yeah, that's that one over
Mr. Reinhardt.
I made the motion.
All right, Mr. Harrington made the motion, Mr. Reinhardt seconded it, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like, sign, opposed, motion carries. Okay, so you'll have to stay in
Yeah.
touch with Mr. Fitzgerald, and let
Yes,
him
ma'am.
know what you've done and,
Yeah,
what you're gonna get done, okay?
All right, thank you, sir.
All
All
right,
right, have a
case-
good one.
Okay, you too. Case 47, thank you for coming. CEB 1021-310, Charlie May Arrington.
No, okay.
Okay. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I did a site visit on May 11th, 2021. Case was open for violations of putting up a fence with no permit, not maintaining of a vacant lot, a damaged vehicle, an RV, and a trailer. The notice of violation was signed for on May 17, 2021, and is supposed to come into compliance by June 17, 2021. I'm asking for noncompliance, next cutoff.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion to respond to noncompliance or respond to come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of fine up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Motion, Mr. Gonzalez, second? Second, Ms. Himes, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed. We did case
Fulton.
48, 49.
47.
We did 47, right.
Yeah.
We're on case 49, CEB 10-21-3112. Uzair Shuza.
A lot of stuff was finished, but not everything.
Uzair Shuja. Okay, is he here? Not here anyway. Okay. Go ahead.
The site visit on August 4th, 2020.
These are old.
The violations were for outside storage, trash and debris, overgrowth, damaged sidewalks, and steps. The notice was signed for on September 15, 2020. It was supposed to come into compliance by October 15, 2020. I'm asking for noncompliance, next cutoff.
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion from Mr. Harrington and a second from Mr. Gonzalez to find respondent in noncompliance and a respondent come into compliance by 11/3/2021 or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case number 50, CEB 10-21-313, Britt Berth Lee and Dolores Barnes. Nope. Okay.
I visited the site on July 23rd, 2021. I'm sorry, 2020, for violations of vacant land and overgrowth, no permit for a fence, tree removal, prefabricated structure on the site with no permit again, outside storage, trash and debris, unmaintained vacant lot, and destruction of ground cover and erosion of soil.
Okay. Chair will entertain a motion, and,
I'm asking for noncompliance, next cutoff.
okay. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in noncompliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per
excuse-
day.
There was a reason that it took so long to get to us?
We have several 2020 cases.
A lot of my cases are not my cases.
Right.
We had someone who
Right.
left and I inherited them.
Right.
So I'm cleaning up and bringing them forward.
Good.
Yeah, I hope,
Glad you're bringing them
we get
forward.
all of these things off the books.
Yeah, it'd be nice, wouldn't it?
Yes, sir.
All right, so do we have that motion?
So moved.
Yes.
All right, that was Mr. Gonzalez, the second. Second, Mr. Harrington, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Case 51, CEB 10-21-314, Michael Anderson. Uh-oh. Hello. Hi, take your time. I wish, if we had, I may have to start asking. I'm sorry I had to wait so long, it must be uncomfortable.
No, I've had a couple traumatic brain injuries. I'm very strong in the mornings, but.
As the day wears on.
And everyone drives like,
Okay, well, you're here now, if you need to sit down or you
No,
want
no,
to
no, no,
stand up.
no, I just may need to hold.
Fine, okay. So, state your name, and be sworn in, please.
Michael Allen Anderson.
Raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes.
Mr. Fitzgerald.
Site visit was done on June 14, 2021, and notice of violation was opened for damaged exterior awnings, outside storage, trash and debris, and junk vehicle. The notice of violation was signed for on July 22, 2021, and was supposed to come into compliance by August 22, 2021. I'm asking for non-compliance next cutoff.
Okay, so you do, Mr. Anderson, you can kind of there's still things that need to be done, is that correct?
When I got the first certified letter, I went over and I realized that.
But you don't live there.
No, I left corporate America in Manhattan, and my grandfather passed away and moved to his house in South Daytona. And I bought these houses, these crack houses basically, and restored them, but I've had 2 traumatic brain injuries, so I've been learning to walk and so forth. And so these letters, what they call spasticity. Anyway, I was there yesterday and the day before. There's just something that's not even listed on the orders, a railing post that had rotted away. I replaced that. I have pictures I took yesterday of the awnings. I got a text this morning from India, the tenant, that they're on their way to take the car, but she didn't know if she was going to have a picture to text me for you guys.
Here's what we need to do. When this work gets done, you need to stay in touch with Mr. Fitzgerald so he can inspect the property. It's not up to us we're not allowed to inspect the property. Mr. Fitzgerald will come and inspect the property, and he will also, if you have any questions about what work needs to be done, he can tell you what work needs to be done. We see from the pictures that there's work that needs to be done.
If I could.
Go ahead, but basically, that's it.
Absolutely. I was letting Mr. Fitzgerald know by email.
Absolutely.
And
Okay,
so
that's
forth.
good.
And when I called a young lady named Danielle in the licensing department, she said, we have all these pictures, all of this information. I was letting him know a notice to quit. I sent it also to him. I'm sorry, Mr. Fitzgerald. I've been keeping him updated.
Good.
Yes.
Terrific.
I email and left messages. I get certified letters, and it makes me. I've been living off Quate nutrition drinks for the past couple months because of my balance and so forth. But I'll let you talk. I'm sorry.
Okay, that's okay. That's all right. So there's work that needs to be done. I'm just suggesting that you stay, like you've been doing, stay in touch with Mr. Fitzgerald, and we'll work all of this out, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, good. Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent committed to compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Such a motion?
So moved.
Ms. Himes' motion, is there a
I
second?
did was.
Second, Ms. Roby, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. Okay?
Okay,
All right, so
thank you. When I get
just stay in touch.
I absolutely. When I get a picture, I'll let you know of the car being gone. That's the last thing.
Yeah, whenever it's done, I'll show up and just tell me it's done and I'll show
He
up.
has to actually physically go see it.
Right. Well, okay, got it. Thank you
Okay.
very much.
All right, thank you.
Oh,
Case number 52,
What was the-
CEB 10-21-315, Darrell Jones. Mr. Jones here? No. Okay. All right, go ahead, Mr. Fitzgerald.
Yeah, there was a site visit on 8/18/2020 for an unmaintained parcel. The notice of violation was signed for on August 18, 2020, and was supposed to come into compliance by August 29, 2020. I'm asking for non-compliance next cutoff.
So moved.
All right,
Second.
Mr. Harrington's made a motion, and Ms. Himes a second, to find respondent in non-compliance in order to respond come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. I see a lot of people out there, but we only have one more case. What's the deal? Is the case 54, CEB 10-21-317, Kenneth Plank. Sorry you had to wait so long. I don't know who these other people are. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, I know.
They're
A lot of sitting, huh?
They're observing democracy in action.
What happened to 53?
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah.
Did you? State your name?
Kenneth Klink.
KLENK.
Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to provide is the truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. Fitz.
Yeah. A site visit was on August 13, 2020. The case was open for no BT, no permits, parking on the grass and in the front yard, and trailers
Yeah.
and storage of outside building materials.
And how about as of today or whenever?
Still non-compliance, next cutoff.
Has anything been done?
The trailers come on and off every day. The last time I was there, you'll see a photograph on 10/7, which is that one. There's still the junk vehicle. I mean, yeah.
Okay, so you see there's still stuff that needs to be done and you're doing things.
There's nothing
probably-
there. There's nothing there now.
Well, you
But-
need to call Mr. Fitzgerald and have him go out there and make sure. I mean, we don't put you into compliance.
And more importantly,
I
Mr.
understand.
Fitzgerald does.
Okay.
So-
I just got one letter. That's all I've received. I saw one was to.
First notified 8/21/2020. That's a long time ago.
And it's important that it remains in compliance. I think that's the issue that
Well,
Mr. Fitzgerald is expressing, that
Right.
it seems like the vehicles leave and then they come back. If it doesn't remain in compliance, it's not in compliance.
Because like you see right there, there's nothing there but just my truck. I pull in there.
Yeah, so how
But-
come all the other stuff is there all the time?
It's
Or
not-
off and
it's-
on?
It's off and on. Well, it's sort of unique. That whole area there is nothing but businesses across the street. Everybody brings their stuff in and they go.
Well, so if they're
Certain-
businesses,
certain
family home with no business BT?
Yeah, so that's where your business is out of now?
No, I've been in business. This one business I own right here has been in business 50 years. If you just call it up or you go on the phone book or go internet, it's Allen's Tree Service. It's out in the county, 2113 Mitchell Lane. There's big houses, acreage, all kinds of stuff. That
I think what
have out there.
the inspector's getting
And
at
I've
is,
got another property in Port Orange that
We're
I have
just
stuff
talking,
on,
we're just
but
talking about this property.
Yeah,
well, every now and then.
the issue is that you can't stage commercial equipment, vehicles, trailers, equipment at a residential property. That stuff is stuff that needs to be staged at and stored at a commercial property that's designed for that use.
Well,
That's
I
not at a
understand it. I mean, every
residential
now and,
property.
just.
This is a
at that
residential neighborhood.
Certain times I'll bring everybody there and we'll load up and we'll go because we're doing a job in the city, but all that stuff is
Right.
not there all the time.
Right, but that activity that you just described isn't allowed in a residential neighborhood.
But, okay, I'm not, all right.
Or parking on the grass anywhere?
But like I say, I mean, then it says I
Okay,
got
but the
building.
fact is, I mean, you may have a picture, but
When we come home in the whole area that's in there, I'm not saying anything about anybody, but there's dozens and dozens of.
Well, they need to stop too,
But,
so.
but we bring the stuff home. I mean, if we come home and two of my help seem to stay there with me and we bring 3 trucks home and we have trailers on it, we can't bring the trucks
We don't make
home?
the rules, sir. We interpret whether you're in compliance or not in compliance with the rules that someone else makes, like the city commission. We don't make the rules up here. We have
but
nothing to
it's-
do with that. But,
What am I allowed to bring home then?
well, you have to ask Mr. Fitzgerald
find-
that. We don't give advice. We're not allowed to give advice
Yes,
either. So
but
what
we'll
I
find-
see is that you're not in compliance. And we'll give you 30 days to come into compliance, and use that time. You can talk to Mr. Fitzgerald to see exactly what it is you need to do.
Well, I'm in compliance because there's nothing there, but like I'm saying, when I come home.
Well, then
I-
he needs
what
to
am
come
I
out
allowed-
and put you into
what-
compliance if you're in compliance, and otherwise, why aren't we asking for a will fund?
Correct, yeah.
He wanted
Well,
to
we-
put it, was he allowed?
I
We're
mean,
not-
you see it right there, there's nothing there but my one truck that I just drove
Yeah,
home.
okay.
It's, as the inspectors testified, as he stands, it's not in compliance as of right now, so we're asking for a finding of non-compliance.
Okay.
And we won't need an order of will find after that because we'll have a finding of non-compliance. So if he goes out and inspects tomorrow or the next day and it's found in compliance, then, the respondent's on notice at this point that he can't repeat the violation
Okay.
at that point.
Okay.
Well, I understand. I'm just asking a simple question. What am I
The
allowed
simple question would be
to-
directed to
to
Mr. Fitzgerald
bring-
after the meeting.
bring home? Because,
I get your issue, but we can't.
because
tell
I
you-
have storage over
Okay, well,
on different places.
yeah.
I mean, Coastal Stone, I have one there, but they just robbed that place. I got Halifax Wrecking down there. They just robbed and took a trailer and a
I'm
bunch of
sorry.
equipment there.
We,
I moved stuff around to protect
I
myself.
would call your city commission who makes
I
the
did.
rule or
I've already
police or
called her and
whatever,
we're trying
so
to figure out
That's all
some-
I, because
Yeah,
we're,
thing. But this,
He seems.
the neighborhood is,
What I'm hearing is, what can he bring home? You can't bring home work.
Right,
commercial
right.
stuff.
That's what I keep thinking I'm saying is that
Right.
you can't run a home, so if you were running a home-based business, meaning you were running a business from your home, you couldn't have any equipment or anything come to your home. You couldn't bring clients to your home. You couldn't have
so
anything
I'm
that
not
came to
legally
your home.
allowed to
So
put
you
anything
can't-
on the back of my truck to drive home.
You can't, well, I'm sorry?
Say I drive home and I've got a piece of equipment on the back. I can't just drive up in the yard.
You can't, right, you wouldn't be able to park in your yard regardless of whether it was a commercial vehicle or a
Everybody-
residential, or a regular vehicle.
We have so much thievery and breaking in our vehicles on that street that everybody parks in the front yard.
okay.
Sir, it's-
Everybody. I mean, it is so
I
bad.
understand
My
it's an
house has
issue
been
that we're
robbed 3
addressing.
times this year.
All right,
Sir, it's an
so,
issue
all
we're
right,
addressing throughout the neighborhood.
All right, I'd like this conversation, we're here to determine compliance or non-compliance. If you have a police issue, talk to Captain Lee. If you have an issue with the laws or the rules that we operate under, you can talk to your commission. You can keep Mr. Fitzgerald informed and ask him to come out and take pictures to show that you're in compliance and that you can't do these things. But it's not, we can't.
Yeah,
we
I
can't
understand.
do it.
I understand.
Okay, and this is not the place for the discussion. So,
Yeah.
okay.
Good.
Chair will entertain a motion to find respondent in non-compliance or respondent come into compliance by the next cutoff date, 11/3/2021, or be returned to the board for consideration of a fine of up to $1,000 per day. Is there such a motion?
So,
Motion, Ms. Himes, there a second?
Second.
Second, Mr. Reinhardt, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Like sign opposed, motion carries. So stay in touch with him and call Captain Lee or whoever you need to call. And also your commissioner if there are rules you want changed.
One item, Madam.
Okay, and we also, thank you, that's it.
Where's your card?
Okay, is there any other
Yeah,
business?
one item. I gave Kimberly a copy of a case. She's going to share it with all of you. I got cases coming in, I'm going to give them to you guys. Really interesting to read. There's not a lot of cases that come out, the code enforcement cases. But when they do come out, they're very interesting. You see what other code boards are doing. So you'll be getting a case, a very interesting case. That's just 2 pages, easy reading. So read it.
I would like a copy.
Yeah, Kim's gonna get it for us, so that'll be good. I like to read those cases too.
Are
Do you
we-
have anything, are we done?
We're going to have that conversation.
You can have yes, go ahead. Now's the time.
I don't think that the city commission needs to be sheltered from the fact that this board is having difficulty in making decisions because they say they have programs that
Right.
either don't fund or don't move.
Right.
And somehow or another, that needs to be communicated. Does that mean we have to go as a private citizen and make that issue? Or, I mean, they've got to be aware of it.
All right.
And we're asked.
You know what?
to-
Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Okay.
We're
Yeah.
asked to make decisions here. I personally want the CRA and whatever other monies are available to be addressed to what they were intended for, and that was upgrading neighborhoods and helping people. And there are these other projects. But to simply tell people, oh, we're going to help you, with no real intention of doing a thing because you got a 3-year or a 5-year or a 10-year, and it sounds good to the newspaper. And that's my feeling, and I don't care whether the commission likes that or not. Somehow that needs to be communicated. That either tell these people that there's little chance we're going to help you, or have some
Well, and it
realistic.
really ties our hands too, when the
Yes.
city has a program and they say, okay, you're accepted into the program. We don't get the I mean, that's all we can do. We can't say, okay, well, we're going to fine you anyway. So, I mean, I think it's an issue that needs to be addressed, and I think
I like
somebody
that.
needs to address it.
Yeah, I like to add to that. It also creates a situation of inequity because we're levying fines and liens on folks that supposedly can afford it.
Right.
The folks that
Can't afford. Right.
can't afford it, they get all this time, and believe me, I was poor too, so I know how it is. But I don't think there's equity and consistency in allowing all these times to go by for these people to wait on money
Right.
to make these repairs, and then we find all these other people.
Right. No,
I don't think
I
that's
see that point too, and it really does tie our hands. We can't do anything. If they're enrolled in a legitimate city program, I don't see that there's much we can do. So we do need to talk to the commission. The commission needs to know, and probably the city manager needs to know that, if you're listening, that our hands are being tied by these programs that are supposed to be operable, but that either don't happen or they take months or even years to happen.
Yeah, I have one technical question.
Okay, go ahead.
If we find somebody that's in one of these programs, does that disqualify them from getting the grant? There's
I have no
lot of
idea.
things that could happen.
I don't think it disqualifies them, but it can create hurdles for certain issues, which is part of why we typically try to not push it to the point of getting a fine. We typically try to delay it because if financing's tied to the project they're doing and some of the funding's coming from us and some of the funding's coming from a bank, sometimes a fine can interrupt that financing, which then interrupts their spot on the list and their ability to get funds from us. And that's part of why we try to avoid that. At the end of the day, our job, well, I'll first say that I'm as equally frustrated by it as you guys are. I've expressed my frustrations. You guys have your avenues of and abilities to express your frustrations. You should express those frustrations as you see fit. But at the end of the day, our job is to inform both the respondents of the ability to access those programs, and then to inform you guys of the fact that we have informed them and that they are either in the program and what the program is. And then we're supposed to, as staff, to make sure that the information that's being relayed to us is being verified. Like, are they really in the program? Are they really even qualified to be in the program? Have they fulfilled the requirements of the program, or are they just saying I'm in the program? And there has been some failures in the past where people have just said, hey, I'm in this program, and nobody ever called over, and really was somebody handed them application once upon a time, but they never filled it out, or things like that. So we've done a much better job over the years of having conversations with people in other departments, confirming that they are in these programs. So, I'm confident that when staff tells you that they're in a program, they're in a program.
Right.
Am I confident that I can tell you when they're going to get help? No, I can't tell you. Because if we could give you a date or a time or any established timeline or scope of work, we would tell you that. We would absolutely tell you that, because we want you to be as best informed as we can, to be able to make the best decisions on when timelines should be established and when fines should be imposed. So that's our stance on it. It's frustrating, but that's just where we stand on it.
Well,
Telling us they're in a program. The program is going to be a year down the road, 2 years down the road, 3 years down the road. There's not. We may want to look at something differently. The program's going to be 3 years down the road. The program's going to be 6 months.
So, my logical brain says there should be, but have I been able to reach the point of being able to tell you that? No. Yeah.
I think the newest, the freshest thing that we have is just being able to say which list they're on, right? That they're on.
Right, and you're doing
we
that
don't have a promise.
consistently
Yeah,
now.
and even with that, code staff can't promise that that means next step works.
We understand that. The issue is that
Yeah.
these people get, not that you're not telling us,
Mm-hmm.
and finding out whether they are legitimately on the list or not, because it used to be, and I remember this, that somebody'd say, I'm in Florida rebuilding or whatever it's called, and we didn't know whether they were or not. But
Right.
that has not happened
Right.
a while because you guys have been on it. So my frustration is that when they say, oh yeah, they're in the city program, that nothing happens.
And you saw a case today where we kind of let the deciding factor for us to be how much communication are we having with the respondent? Are they informing us of what's going on in the process? Is there confirmation of the process? So if they're not communicating with us, communication drops off all of a sudden, we can't confirm the information or what's going on,
Right.
then we just move on with our process, which is to come in and recommend a fine and go forward and just let the chips fall where they
But
fall.
there are more and more people. How many cases did we have today?
Six.
Yes.
Four?
Yeah.
Six.
Yeah, there was quite a few. Yeah.
Where our hands were trying to say, well, okay, nothing we can do.
It's not the
They're-
code,
they're
it's not
accepted.
code staff's fault.
No,
Yeah.
not
You're
at
doing
all.
what you are
Right.
allowed to do and what you can do.
But the city in the end.
And you're seeing that,
Helped.
and you're seeing that because typically what would happen in the past is those cases would sit in the background on the, for lack of a better word, like docket, I guess, of like the code inspector. They would sit out there and you guys would never really see them. They
Right,
would
we
just let them
wouldn't
linger and they might sit there for 2 years
Yep.
on the inspector's list. And we don't let them do that anymore. They have timelines they have to establish, and that's why you're starting to see cases that you're like, hey, this case is like a year old, but this one's like only 3 months old. You know, why are we pushing so hard on this one? It's because we've established new timelines, and there are certain inspectors that have already worked to those new timelines, and they are working within those new cycles. So you're seeing for them, there's stuff coming up a lot sooner because they're holding people accountable a lot quicker and working within the new program and parameters.
Luigi, you know the problem here. It's just like the CRA funds.
I know.
I was a chairman of the CRA, and we had funds, and they were supposed to be for upgrading the neighborhood, and they wound up for building a
Condominium.
thing for the lifeguards that should have been paid for with county money.
Right.
I have a
But that,
suggestion.
I mean,
And so that's the problem.
it is the same kind of problem, I agree.
Yes.
It's the same genre of problem. But whereas we have nothing to do, although sometimes some of these CRA funds could be
CRA
used
money
to-
should be available, and
So
supposedly
the
is.
the end for me is that we are not able to move as quickly as we'd like to improve the city. That properties are allowed, whether they're commercial or private, are allowed to languish because we're not moving ahead with these programs, or the funds are being used for something else.
I have
Yeah,
a suggestion.
so I would
if may.
suspect that it's probably a complication of resources more so than just money. It's probably, the process in itself is probably complicated and probably to improve its functionality too, but we probably don't have enough staff to focus on that time because their time's split on multiple projects, and that department has a lot of things going on, particularly at this time with a new manager coming on board. So, that's part of the complications. So it's
But it is
it's all about, right, it is very frustrating, and it's very frustrating for them as well.
And it's frustrating for people that care about the city.
Yes. But it's-
Languish and not get fixed up.
But don't forget, staff is in that boat with you. There's staff that genuinely, almost all of staff feels very passionately about improving the city. And it's just about having enough hours in the day and the week. It's just, we just don't have enough time and hours in
There's
the week.
some policy change.
I have a
And I know
suggestion.
and
if
some
I
of
may.
that's true.
I think I was before you.
You were.
We at one time, when Richie was mayor.
Excuse me, Mr.
Got to meet
Mr. Harris.
the city commission, do you remember
Mr.
that?
Yeah, we did.
We've
Mr.
never
Harrison.
had another contest.
Mr. Harrington, I think I had the floor for a minute.
Wait a
here.
minute. Okay, now
Yeah.
wait. Now, Ms. Roby wants to speak, Mr. Harrington wants to speak, and Mr. Gonzalez wants to speak. so-
Right.
He's got an
I've
appointment.
been trying to get in for a while.
Okay.
So, but anyway, this issue of these programs, the city and all its departments, and we should be coordinating, getting information, communicating. That's part of the existence. So I would recommend that we have, not to reflect on the staff, because we got excellent staff that do a great job. And I'll say that to anybody. But maybe with the manager, have a meeting with the manager to come here and listen to our concerns and ask him to find a way to do that linkage, those connections, where we can get the information that we need to relieve our frustrations a little bit.
Okay?
Right.
We did have a meeting at one time, way back when Glenn Ritchie's first started, with the entire commission and staff. And we
Well,
talked
that's
about what the
another idea.
priorities of this board should be. Maybe they've changed. I don't.
That's another idea.
Yeah, we did.
I don't, I mean,
think that was way back in, I don't know when.
I don't think your priorities are off target. I think you guys are on target on your priorities. But
Right.
I mean, something like that can be worked out. I can discuss that with the manager and see if we can, you know, if he wants to maybe even just come as miscellaneous business to the
Right.
next meeting
Right, that
and
would be great.
and start from there, and maybe that develops into something else.
I've been here 14 or 15 years. There's been exactly 4 commissioners to ever attend this meeting.
Yeah.
And one time the city manager came, and that's it. The newspaper has never set foot in here in 15 years. Now, maybe they watch on TV.
Sometimes they do, 'cause they come
Yeah,
after me.
Maybe they watch. But it's really nice to read the newspaper all
Probably a
about
good
code
thing
board.
that they don't come.
And none of these people have ever said a word.
Right. And they have no idea what the rules are. I mean, I find the ignorance is overwhelming, but, you know.
Yeah, just as a reminder, I know some of the people are newer on the board, but it was about 2 or 3 years ago, we had a workshop.
Yep.
Where we did have the department come in.
They
And one
did,
of-
but
one of the
nothing
issues-
changed.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say, one of the issues that they expressed was the difficulty in getting the contractors
Contractors,
necessary.
right. And that was
so-
before COVID.
Right, so I can imagine it being a little worse.
Right.
I'm not trying to defend them because
Right, I know.
they
but
can speak for themselves.
all
but that
of
was
those things need to be
of
brought
issue
up.
of that,
Yeah.
you know, a reasonable issue to
Right.
consider
Right.
in terms
Right.
of the ability to move forward and the things that interfere with the ability to go.
Ms.
move
Roby.
on these.
I have 2 things. One is, I was wondering if we could add, like when Kimberly sends the letters out to these people, if they go ahead and fix their stuff, if you could put like a little blurb on the bottom, say, please contact your code enforcement officer to come out when completed, so they can.
I believe it's already on there.
It's already on the
Yeah.
notice.
Okay, but they still need to be told. The other thing I want to know is,
We reiterate with them all the time. There are certain folks that they like to make it an issue and they intentionally don't
Right.
call.
Sure.
And they do that on purpose, but.
yeah, I didn't know
Yeah.
it was on the letter already.
Yeah.
The other thing is the HOAs. I know, I came from Virginia, and our HOAs up there, the responsibility on the yards and all was the HOAs, and they went after these people. I don't feel that the city's code should be the bad person here. I think the code should go to the HOA president's house and put a note on their door which house is in violation and let them go through the.
Well, it's not, so the lucky thing for you is I tend to agree sort of with you. So, you know, you'll see if you look at our code map, I don't even have a code inspector assigned to that west end of the city. We handle our code complaints, we just dole them out to everybody there. Because all of those areas are covered by HOAs pretty much. And we tell the HOAs, hey, Don't come calling us about things you should be handling. Handle them yourself. And if you've handled them, tried to address them, and they've grown into a bigger problem, or you can't manage it, or you're getting no results, then engage us. We'll come in and support you and help you with a bigger problem. Or if it's a problem that's beyond the scope of your bylaws or rental issue or something like that, then you could get with us, and we'll piggyback off of whatever else you have, and we'll work it as well.
issue or-
Yes, absolutely.
Or
So.
traffic issue or.
So but with that said, if a citizen sends a complaint in those areas, we're still going to service that complaint.
Okay.
That's the caveat.
The first thing I would say is contact when they come.
As long as they give us the name and everything, yeah.
And just say, you should contact your HOA. They're responsible for your property.
Yeah.
That's why you pay those fees.
Right.
If they don't pay the fees, they can go in and levy that house and take over that house.
Right. So what I do on the back end is I have those conversations also, though, in community meetings or with the commissioners for those areas and things. Is like, hey, you've got to remember that we don't have the staffing to be an HOA. We cannot be an HOA. We just can't do it. That's not a functional way to run a code department.
Some of those HOAs have more teeth than others.
Right.
And I'm speaking from experience, and I am.
Yeah.
Some of them don't have
But it's still an
some of them don't
HOA.
have a
These
fining
people-
committee.
These people pay monthly fees.
Oh, I agree.
And they should be levied.
I totally agree with you, but in a lot of cases, when these HOAs, this case, for example, today, some of those HOAs, some of the large ones, they do have a fining committee. They do have teeth to their covenants. If they don't meet that, then they can go after them financially, and usually that can be settled on their end. Then there are the other HOAs who do not have the teeth, don't have a fining committee. There's a very long process with the attorney and whatnot, where compliance is a key issue. Property value is a key issue. And then therefore, the individuals that call code enforcement to complain about those properties, a lot of them are from that angle, is what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
And it typically
But I agree with you, Ms. Roby, so.
where I kind of split the line is if you're calling us because somebody didn't pressure wash the sidewalk, that's different than if you're calling us like if the paint's peeling off the house and it just looks like a landscape mess, and like that's a much bigger deal. Like we don't mind coming in and helping support with something like that, but if you're calling us with every little nickel and dime thing that an HOA would typically handle, well, you have an HOA for that.
Right,
you know?
exactly.
So, yeah.
Yep.
Right.
So.
Yeah, well, that's why I think if you guys find out the HOAs, send them out letters and say, this is your responsibility. You levy it or cut it, and then you bill the person.
Yeah. Well, that's part of like what John was referencing before. Like they have a meeting. I think is it today or tomorrow? Tomorrow
Yeah.
with like Pelican Bay, because we're getting like an uptick in complaints there. So that's the conversation they're going to have. It's like, hey, you guys need to
'Cause
start
it's
getting
not
on the
fair
ball
for
with.
that. They put that burden on the city.
Right.
Yeah.
And the police department, when
And they
they're
do it.
being paid a monthly salary. To
And
take
Well,
some of them go through
although they
transitions
are
where they
paying
get a little
taxes
debunked
to
too.
the
They
ci- They're paying taxes to the city.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Maybe they could just be copied.
but they are paying
the
city
notice.
taxes, so they're entitled to services.
Yeah.
Maybe the HOA can.
That's
just
why
be
we won't
copied.
turn them away. We'll never turn them
Right.
away.
Maybe they can just be copied on the notice so they're aware that this residence has these issues and problems.
If we had an email address for them, which we could probably track down relatively easy for a contact.
We're not meeting in December.
We're not having a meeting in December, which I thought we discussed in miscellaneous business last meeting.
I may have forgotten, and I forget this.
Okay.
I know that you and I talked about it, and I said fine with me, but
Okay.
I didn't know that it had been announced.
And I do just have one quick thing. I just want to bring it up because it's a concern of mine. I just feel like people need to be careful about what they say. As far as opinions up here on the board, we had an issue here where the staff made a request to continue something, and opinions were thrown out, and we made a request to keep due process intact. A respondent made a simple request to continue a case because they could not be here, and staff made the determination that it was best to allow them to have the opportunity to be here to respond to the facts of the case as we presented them in case they wanted to challenge anything. And to say we were doing anybody a favor or anything like that was not appropriate and should not have been said.
Well,
Yes, it absolutely is better to continue it.
Well, I apologize for that, because that's coming at me.
But-
But the thing is that I'm seeing that we're making decisions on people that are not here. So what
I mean,
gives
what's the
somebody else a
difference
special
between-
privilege to not be here?
Right.
And for us not to make a decision?
Because the person communicated with us, explained the situation, and there was actually a scenario in which presented a situation where they had a reasonable scenario where they were having issues where they would not be able to attend. They made a simple request. These other folks did not make requests, they just failed to attend.
And I honored your request, because I'm the one that made the motion to accept the city's recommendation.
Okay, so I think once that's been explained, but I mean, anybody can kind of make a request because they don't feel like being here or they're, I don't, whether they're.
And we scrutinize those pretty rigorously. We don't do these very often.
They're out of the address or they're down the street, doesn't affect my judgment whatsoever.
Yeah.
I don't,
This wasn't like, when we said out of the country, that's a simple way of explaining it.
Yeah.
This was not like they were in Canada. This was in a place where they could not get the ability.
In another continent.
Right.
And
Yes.
so we were well
I'm not-
satisfied that they probably did not have the access that they expressed.
yeah, okay.
And I guess without anyone, having their feelings in this, the real thing is just the caution of suggesting that the staff is
Right.
giving favoritism.
Right, and I don't
or
think
mis-
that that's what was meant. I don't think that's what was meant. What was meant is kind of the equity thing of somebody.
That's the
isn't here,
opposite of what
somebody
was
is-
going on. It's to make sure that we keep a case intact if it's ever to be appealed later.
Okay, all right. Adjourn.